What is up, YouTube? How's it going? Let me get that over so that way everyone.
I think
can
he was
see.
on banking.
Oh,
That's
we're
the only
live.
reason he was
Yes,
good.
we are officially live on YouTube. What is up, everybody?
Sup.
I am pretty much. I gave you like a good minute.
Jeff,
and a half.
just don't listen. You just gotta go, DJ. You're not in the wrong.
Yeah,
Jeff is
I
as
know.
usual.
God, Jeff, tighten up. What's wrong with you?
I know.
Let me know. Are you guys ready to actually start the main show?
I don't know. I'm looking for any more rumors in case we missed any.
Not sure.
Are we not live?
No, I don't see it.
Oh no!
Are you sure about that?
Are we live?
We should be. It says
Welcome
we're
to the live chat.
Yes, I got the notification.
I did.
Yeah, we're definitely live.
I don't have notifications on for it though.
Well, that's probably why.
DJ, you gotta turn the volume off.
Oh, sorry.
Gosh, DJ, what's
Every
wrong with
time
you?
with this kid, bro.
Listen,
Boo!
Stop.
Boo! Get this guy out.
Oh, we have one person. Oh, it's probably DJ,
it's me. I'm the only one. Y'all are muted.
and there's nobody here.
Wait, I don't see it.
Okay, well, I'm watching it.
I am watching it
It's
as
like that
well.
old
It's
Rogers
definitely
video.
you. It's
a
the
Let
user.
let me send the links. Okay, calm down.
It's a Monday.
Let me
Let's-
send the links, DJ. Slow down, bro, because then you're gonna be like trying to introduce me, and I'm not gonna know what I'm doing
Well, I
because
can
I'm trying
skip
to.
you.
You're just gonna say sup. It's Jake.
Oh, stop.
It's not hard.
I could literally just
That's
record
all
it.
you're gonna say.
One of these days, I'm just gonna record it to a sound bite. And that
Do
way
a
you
bad
can
mouth
skip it.
over.
So rude.
That's hilarious. All right.
Oh man.
What you don't know is we've been
You only have energy
secretly
when someone
compiling
like
sound
illegally
bites
gets
the
a
last
win.
2 years.
Yes, I have been. I have so
Who
much
else should I
incriminating
send this
evidence.
to?
Anyone.
I would send it. I'm gonna send it to Jason, but he might not see it.
Yeah.
He
All
had he had a rough day.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I think he consumed
That's
too
rough,
much of
buddy.
the brown stuff yesterday.
That's rough, buddy.
Ooh.
Got
All
a
right.
little old.
The the GC at work today. He's like, "Where's Jason?" I was like, "He's like, was it a night race?" I was like,
I love
"No."
that that's what he
He's like,
asks.
"It was rain delayed." I was like, "Yep." He's like, "God dang it!" He just knows.
That's the part that cracks me up is he doesn't even ask like, is he sick or anything? It's just
No,
like,
no, he
was
knows.
It, was it delayed?
If
was
Jason comes late, it's because it was a night race or rain delayed. Facts.
That's hilarious.
I would have been right there behind him, but I wouldn't have been early.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let me know when you're ready, Jacob.
I guess whatever. Do the thing.
He's guessing.
After a rain delay at the race at Michigan, it's now in the books, and Tyler Reddick wins the race. Was this one of the best races of the year? Because there was flips, there was a lot of passing, there was a lot of lead changes. We are here for the speed. What is up? I am glad to be with you guys. My name is DJ. What's up? I'm joined by...
What's up, Jacob?
This is Jeff, you betcha.
This is what
Local
happens.
Brad Kozlowski fan Matthew over here.
This is what happens when I give y'all a screen that you can look at yourselves while doing your intros.
Yeah, right. I feel popular.
Oh
That's my-
man.
Yeah, this is what you look like.
What's up, fellas?
So yeah, man. So did everyone get a chance to watch the race?
Yes.
No. I
Ish.
was working. Of course not.
Yeah.
No,
Very
you gotta
serious.
be smart about it, man. You gotta save the paperwork for that. You know.
I get it.
Save for the
For the end.
Yeah.
end of the day.
I'm curious
Or 11
about.
o'clock.
I'm curious about Jeff. What was your situation like? Because you're like,
I
really wish I could
I had
watch.
to work. I had to work for most. I would say I caught the back half of what we raced today.
okay.
So
Did you
I
just have
would
like
say,
bad cell reception or something?
No, I was just working. Like I couldn't.
Oh,
I couldn't.
you made
Stop.
it. You kind of made it sound like
Quote,
like,
unquote.
I would be
I
if
thought
I
you
could,
quit.
but I can't.
You just told
like-
me you're not working anymore. What happened?
I
That's
thought
news
you
to
just
me.
didn't have good self reception.
Like,
No,
Jeff,
no.
What
I was
do you
just,
mean?
I was driving. I was driving the clamp truck and doing all kinds of stuff. So
The clamp.
I couldn't do it.
So you were,
But
you were the
but
clamper today.
today I was.
Nice.
Clamp
But-
on.
Hey,
Clamp off.
But anyway, I ended up watching it in like the back half of the day when I was in the office doing some stuff on the computer, and I kind of had it up.
I
and
was
then,
training.
no, I wasn't training. I was doing some
I don't-
route stuff, and
Yeah,
then,
whatever. It's
and then
fine.
anyway, I finished early. And so I just sat there for the last like hour and watched the race. But I had to watch it. I didn't have a good way to stream it, like on NBC or anything like that. So I ended up having to. I just pulled up the NASCAR app, and I was originally just gonna follow it on the app.
Yeah.
And then I I realized that they have those like aerial cameras and battle cameras that you can watch like the most important parts of the race.
Yeah.
The only problem is that there's no commentary. So
Oh,
there's no
horrible!
commentary.
You don't have to listen to someone talk every second on TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm just saying.
horrible.
Well, like I just didn't like.
Hold on, be careful. We're a
What was
we're a
the call
podcast where
on
people
Saturday?
listen to us.
He'll clear him easily. Boom, right into the fence.
Well, the problem was is
Yeah,
that
you got that one right.
there was no commentary, but then there was also no like the camera. It wasn't like you watching it on TV. It wasn't the same shots. It was literally like someone up at the top of the racetrack with a camera zooming in and out, just like
Oh, that's
almost like
cool,
you're
though.
looking through binoculars.
I like that.
At the
that's-
race.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know what I mean? So it's good enough where you can see it and kind of get a clue what's going on. But like if there's a crash or a flip or something like that, you're probably gonna miss it.
Well, didn't you say you did? Because
I did miss it.
like one of the big wrecks, I don't remember which one.
I did miss it because they were showing a battle for position, and then the wreck happened in a different part of the field, and it's a live camera, not a
Yeah, so
like production where they're cutting to the action. It was just kind of one of those something's happening, and then they show the yellow
Break your
flag
neck to
came
go
out.
find it.
They show the yellow flag come out.
you just see
in a
wrecked
pinch,
cars.
In a pinch, it's good enough.
Yeah.
But I got to watch most of third stage, and it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I was pretty much relying on the group text to figure out like if something was going on in a different part of the track.
Oh, our group chat
Yeah.
was
It was
going
popping
off.
There was no doubt. There was nobody working.
Three of them, all three of them.
So we have multiple chat groups, and we were just talking about this, and we're like, we got to figure out a way to condense it down, which we are working on,
Yeah.
but we're not ready to release it yet.
But-
So
Oh, we can share it. The plan is to
Well,
do-
yes.
probably Discord is the place we'll land because that's kind of the best.
we're
But yeah, we're thinking about hopefully pretty soon, putting together Discord where we can have everything and
yeah.
a
I had
lot,
to,
like a race chat with anybody who wants to join. And
The idea is that we'll have like a chat. I keep saying a chat room, but it's not what it is. But like the different groups and everything, where we can have like our fantasy group. We can have.
you're not supposed to tell them that. I mean, now everybody's gonna feel like they're being left out.
Well, they are. They got to be in our fantasy group.
Yeah.
So there's that
It's
one.
a $50 buy-in. You send it right to me. Don't worry about it.
In the notes, just say "Bad Brad," and then
Perfect.
it'll be good. But you'll have things like live
discount
race
code.
chat. There'll be a news section. There'll be a I want to create a NASCAR meme section where we can just meme.
Uh-oh. What?
I think that'll be fun.
We're going to get in trouble.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
100%. Risk it for the
Yeah.
brisket. But yeah, so anyway, that's probably what we're thinking. But yeah, as of today, it's just multiple text group
I
threads.
kept having to triple check which
a lot.
group was
Was the
sending
one
which
doing-
texts.
So I started writing one text in one group, copying it, and then pasting it to
saw
all
that.
three.
Quality
I was like,
content,
"This
everybody.
is a good text. Everybody needs to hear it."
I was like, my responses are going to dictate like which group chat this is going to dictate my response.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely getting a little confusing. So we're gonna try
Yeah.
to consolidate that down as
Yeah.
best we can. But overall, I'll start with Matt. Let's jump into our ratings. What do you think overall of the race?
Oh, man. Michigan. For the Cup Series, right? Just Cup Series?
yeah.
Not like overall
specific.
weekend?
We'll
yeah,
talk
we
about
just do Cup
those.
Series here.
Well, we'll talk about Xfinity a little bit.
I would have to say, I really, really, really like the race, and I have a really hot take saying that this is probably the last true super speedway we have on the schedule. They go 205 here. They don't do that at Talladega or Daytona anymore. They just don't. Sorry. So
Wait,
I'm
what
go-
was the question? Wait, what?
I
I'm gonna give it an
think you heard it
8.5.
correctly.
I heard about half the question, and Matt's
8.5.
answer has completely confused me.
I said, "What's your rating of the race?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
8.5. It was a true super speedway. They hit super speeds. That's my take.
I mean, they were fast. 209. I
Bro,
think it was the
how
highest
could
speed I
you
saw.
deny that? Like,
was
it's the
fast.
true super speedway.
Some would say it's the only one left.
Well, they claim the moniker of NASCAR's fastest track, and I think they
They
definitely got
own
it today.
They own. That's the only track you could sell that 215 speed limit sign. It's the only one. Nobody should be buying that at Daytona or Talladega.
Nah, it
it
should
makes
be
no
illegal.
sense.
the look on Jake's face. That whole time. he was sitting there. He was sitting there.
Ah, I'm getting questions. I'm trying to put them in the thing in the
You're
show
doing good.
sheet.
You're doing good.
Sorry.
So I said 8.5. Jeffrey?
8.5. Okay, Jeff.
I mean, it's hard for me to rate because I didn't get to watch as much, I think, as
you're biased,
everyone else.
too.
But no. Like outside of my unfortunate fantasy experience today, I'll give it an 8. Like the racing we saw was good. I just wish that they would have either delayed the whole race to today or tried to run it
absolutely not.
yesterday, in my opinion. I think it would have been more exciting if they
We
did
had
what we were
50
kind of
laps.
talking about,
Sorry.
where, they ran a time limit type deal. Like, that would have been cool. But, like,
They
just ran
couldn't
as much
do
of
it
the race as you
yesterday.
can until it either rains or gets dark, and then, do a time limit thing. I felt like every time we've done that this year, it's been really fun and added something to it. But
I don't know if there would have been enough
Just my
time
opinion.
though for this race though.
No, they weren't going to be able to.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if
don't
they
know.
would have done it, like NASCAR won't do that unless they know they can get to at least halfway, and we were
Yeah.
not going to get to halfway.
No, not with the
Yeah.
storm.
We were
But-
that one tweet I saw. They were guessing maybe 85, 90 laps tops. So that's not halfway. So NASCAR's not going to do it.
Short of them saying, pulling what they did at what was it? Not Chicago. What was the one where they said, "Hey, we're going early today. We're moving it up."
They moved it by like an hour. What
They
was
can
it?
only move it by an hour with a 24-hour notice
Yeah, I forgot
to
who
the,
it
to
was.
the
They
broadcast
moved
partners.
it an hour. I think it was Nashville.
Maybe I don't remember which one it was. There was a race this year. They moved it up
Yeah.
an hour.
That worked.
They
Maybe
could
it's
have done.
Kansas.
I honestly don't
I
remember.
can't remember.
If you
I know
remember
for
in the
sure,
chat,
and
let
it
us know.
rained, and then they got the race up to a certain point
Yeah.
because of the time, which was fine. Like it went great.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like a rare. It's a rare instance where NASCAR was very consistent in their ruling that if they feel like they cannot get to at least halfway, they will not restart the race.
Yeah.
I did
So, I mean, that's
appreciate
cool.
that they didn't have everyone sit around for a couple hours while they attempt to dry and
Sure.
stuff like
Run
that.
30 more laps just to do it again
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I would appreciate that it was like, oh yeah, we're not doing this.
There's
We're going
no
come back
way.
tomorrow.
I would say,
appreciated that.
Considering, just my personal experience, not getting to sit down or like getting to have like the actual stream on my phone and stuff like that. And as far as my spotty following of the race, it was pretty good. I
Yep.
enjoyed it. The highlights, going back and watching those, definitely helped give me
Really
some
good.
more context of what was going
What
on.
would you rate it?
I say an 8.
8?
I'll give it an 8. I think that's pretty solid, considering.
Jake,
Yeah.
Jake, do you want me to go or you want?
I've been thinking about this a lot. I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot more I think the race could have really given us, except for maybe a side-by-side finish for the end. So to me, it's a 9 out of 10. The only thing that could have made it better was a really close finish. I mean, we had the overtime. It was funny. I actually put in the group chat like 2 laps before
It
the
was-
caution. I was like, we
Bro.
need a yellow would really mix this up.
I
And
was
it's like 2
begging.
two
I
laps
was
later.
begging for no caution, dude.
That was
this
funny.
is like one of the
You
few
almost
times
lost it.
I
Yeah.
had the worst. I've had the worst fantasy season out of like the 5 or 6 years that I've been
Same.
in fantasy. So I'm like, I need one good day. It's not going to do me any good in the standings, but just for pride's sake, like I really want a good day. And I had everyone like my lowest was Bowman in like 10th, and then Truex and Bowman got wiped out in like the same lap.
Yeah,
Basically,
it was a
And
little
that was
rough.
kind of upsetting.
Brother, I know the feeling.
But I'm proud that I picked Reddick and Brad. You know, those
Yeah.
those worked out pretty good for
Yeah.
me today.
So while we're talking about kind of close to the end, give you a rating, and
Yep.
then we have a question from Instagram that I want
Sure.
to.
So
Instagram.
yeah, so I would kind of lean with Jake. I think, like you said, there wasn't a whole lot extra. You had passing, you had lead changes, you had strategy,
Yep.
Rex,
Variable strategy.
variable strategies. I thought overall, yeah, great race. So I'm giving it a 9.
Fair.
I think it was a very very.
I
Solid
mean, the
race.
only thing he was really missing was a really exciting last
End.
lap.
Yeah,
Try to pass.
But it's
or
okay.
whatever.
I'm with
okay.
all the excitement that happened during the race. I really wasn't missing it.
no,
I
No,
like
it
that,
was fine.
that close end finish, but so much happened during this race where it was like, whoa.
You know what's really crazy? Like the leader could actually be passed.
Yes.
yeah,
That was interesting.
It
yeah.
was really weird.
Like depending on like the way the setup wore the tires out, you either good long run or good short run.
we
Like,
talk
I'm
about that? The
fine with
tires
that.
wore?
tires fell off.
That's kind of wild.
Like literally fell off.
Don't know how that happened.
Well, yeah. So let me answer this
Okay,
question.
what's the
We'll
question?
dig into the race. It was so this person on Instagram, Jaden Phillips, wants to know what we thought about the last caution there with the 19 car.
oh.
This
Oh.
is super spicy on Twitter right now.
Ah,
People are mad at NASCAR for calling this.
Really?
okay.
They're comparing this to like
We
what
were-
I've seen a lot is comparing to Kyle Busch in the wet weather at Richmond earlier in the year.
We started to kind of talk
Oh.
about this upstairs a little bit because we were watching
Yeah.
Eric, but like, I kind of agree. I don't think it warranted a caution.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it hit like that. I think we've seen too many hits like that this whole season where it hasn't caused a caution. But like, I don't know.
So no caution for you.
No
You?
caution.
So I do not believe it warranted a caution but there was a few variables that I think NASCAR saw and they had to throw it. One, Truex was kind of in the lead, right? He hit the wall. And
Ty was fourth or fifth.
That's
somewhere
pretty
right there.
darn close.
Yeah.
So if he did end up hitting the wall and spinning, how many cars would he have taken out?
Yep.
You know, so I think they threw that in there. He lost a ton of speed, and a lot of people were comparing it to Austin Cindric when he hit the wall, kind of lost it and slowed down. But Austin Cindric was in 25th wrecking. Like, there's not a lot of cars back there, you know, where he
Yeah.
was. So I would play it on. I think it was the right call. Extremely unfortunate. I think NASCAR did the right thing because he did hit the wall, he slowed down, and he was in the lead. So that is my justification for it.
Yeah. My thinking is very similar to that. The other thing I will kind of add is not only did all that happen, but he also, when he hit the wall, he started coming back down.
Yes.
And so my initial thought
Slower.
is, if you're a official in NASCAR, you're looking at that and you're like, he smacked the wall hard and he's coming back down. Put it out. There's no, is he all right? Is he going? He's coming. He hit, and now he's coming back into the
it's
racing line.
definitely one of those borderline calls. Like, should we,
I
not?
agree.
But with him running in fourth, it's not like he's 32nd and nobody's near him, right? He hit the
There
wall.
was
If
guys all
something
around.
happened,
Kyle
like,
Busch almost
do you
hit
know
him.
how much egg NASCAR would have on their face if he piled up 5th, 6th, and 7th right there? It's just a bad call. It just sucks it happened.
So you're for the caution.
Yep.
You're against. You're for. I'm also with it, and I was the first one to drop in the group chat, hoping we had one, and I was like, "Well, that was a stretch. Like that was the quickest yellow I've ever seen." But then when they showed the replay, man, he hit pretty hard.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me, I was
Oh, yeah.
thinking it. Not that it's the same, but it reminded me of Kurt Busch's wreck at Pocono. That kind of ended his career, where he kind of hit the rear and slapped front. You know, so like, if
It reminded me a little bit of Denny Hamlin last week where he hit the wall.
yeah,
Or
Right?
Kyle Busch Indy.
He came up, hit the wall pretty hard,
Kyle
lost
Busch
a ton of
Indy was
speed,
the one I thought of.
and they
Yes.
they threw a caution as soon as he hit the wall. Like,
to me, like if any
It's
kind of
just-
significant, and I would call the Martin Truex or the Kyle Busch or the Denny Hamlin, any of those are all significant driver sideways against the wall, flush against the wall. Those hits you got to throw a yellow on. You have to, because
Yeah.
like we saw that wreck. I don't know, because I haven't really heard exactly why, but whatever that did that caused Kurt Busch to get hurt and retire, like you don't know, like a hit like that could really rattle you just right and like maybe knock you unconscious. I don't know. I mean, that may be a
you
bit
just don't know.
extreme.
I think honestly, like thinking
don't know.
back, maybe Cindric should have had a caution for his too because he hit pretty hard
Yeah.
in the turn. It's just
To me, if you
unfortunate
have
it
a
happened,
car-
and we got to talk about this nonsense.
if you have a car getting in the wall, like there probably should be a yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially until we know more about this car, which it's been almost 3 years, but you know, we've still seen these kind of similar incidences kind of hurt some people, you know. So, well, I mean, Bowman, I guess, was different because he reared in and they fixed that, hopefully.
They seem to have.
I think my take partially is just because, like, I just have trust issues with NASCAR and throwing yellows. So anytime NASCAR
you're
throws
not
a yellow,
wrong.
I'm just like sus about it. I'm like,
That would be a good
so,
shirt.
so Racing Addicts is joining us, and they said it was an entertainment caution.
Probably they probably thought about that too.
I
Yeah,
will
I'm
agree
kinda like,
that I bet that they were hoping that something would happen. So I'm sure
Yeah.
NASCAR's hand was already hovering
It was
over
really
the button.
quick. It was
was
the
so
quickest
darn
caution
quick.
of the year besides
that's
Kyle
why I'm
Busch.
sus
It's
about
like
it.
neck and neck.
NASCAR
Kyle
was
Busch
playing,
at Richmond, they're right there.
They were playing Jeopardy, like ready for someone to tag the wall. Ding.
We should make Reddick finish second again.
well, we were talking.
You
in
know
the
what'd be
group
funny?
chat.
Let's ruin his race.
We were talking in one of the group chats earlier, and we were saying like, kind of sus that they threw that so quick after spending like
Yeah.
X amount of time, like after letting the dude just sit in the corner, like waiting for the cars to come around.
Yeah,
So it's
to me, it's a significant hit. And to me, it warranted a caution. So
Yeah,
That's fair.
That's fair.
you know, but I can appreciate. I can definitely appreciate. Like, hey, you signed up for a risky career.
That would be.
I wouldn't have.
yeah.
I really wouldn't have batted an eye if there wasn't a caution either. I would have been
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird."
I agree.
Because he got back to speed, but it's like, what do
Yeah.
you do? Do you pit because maybe you got a tire? Like, I wouldn't have batted an eye if it was reversed.
Well, we've seen NASCAR too. That we've seen them kind of hold back a little bit. You know, blown tires and things like that. If it doesn't throw a bunch of debris, like they definitely hold off.
I think NASCAR they had
You know?
time today. They're like, Psh, throw the caution.
Monday, let's
It's 1
mix it
o'clock.
up.
Let's do it.
Let's be honest. Everyone's at work. No one's watching anyway. Let's go.
You know, that would be a great T-shirt. NASCAR gave me trust issue.
Yeah, that would be good.
I like it.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
funny.
All right. So let's go on and anything. So there's a lot of different things that happened leading up to this race. Obviously, qualifying ended up getting rained out.
Yeah.
And everything. The Matt brought up a good point with the whole Austin Dillon not ending up qualifying first. Did we ever figure out?
I forgot
the
it wasn't like a.
There's a
It's
metric.
a metric. It's a metric. Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was last race.
Yeah.
Last race's finishing positions.
No. There's a metric.
Now it's a
I
metric.
think that's the heaviest factor. And then it's points, and there's one more.
Because I was like, this is bogus.
There's three things that make up the matrix.
This man won the
matrix.
race last
you
week and
you
he
started
started
saying
10th.
matrix. Now you messed me
I'm
up.
sorry.
The metric.
Anyway, yeah.
Matrix
So
also
that's
makes
kind
sense.
of what. But
Yeah.
nobody really knows the.
No,
metric.
it's out there. It's just not. It's not. Actually, hasn't been used really. It feels like in a while.
It's got these
That's
darn
true.
rain tires now. They don't need it.
Not
so
not
accustomed
at
to
this
it 'cause of
track. We
COVID.
cannot put rain tires. There's no way they're doing 209 miles an
Oh,
hour.
wait a minute. We should definitely talk about it since we only did shorts.
What?
What do y'all think about the Austin Dillon news? This is the biggest news of the week. I think.
Oh,
we
that's-
should
that's
I think
fair
we should
enough.
just jump right in.
That's
so
fair
y'all,
enough.
y'all kind
Do
of
you have it later in the show sheet? Because we
I mean,
should,
I do,
we
but-
should just like this is the
That's
biggest
in the news.
Let's
Yeah.
just do it. Let's jump into it. Why
This
not?
is the
So-
biggest story of the week.
So I'll throw my opinion out there because like you guys got your shorts posted, so I never got mine posted. So I'm gonna.
I saw yours.
Is it on Instagram?
Oh wait, your reaction. No.
My reaction to
yeah,
it.
never mind. Sorry.
My biggest gripe is not the penalty. It's just same deal. Consistency with NASCAR.
Yeah.
Like it's just the consistency with NASCAR. It's like
I guess
how
in
do
the
you,
defense of NASCAR, they won't give the exact reason why, because there's an appeal coming.
Typical.
They don't know.
typical, and that's what I said in my video was that like they have way too much gray area to work within, and it's like
That's how they write the rule book.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, we don't
NASCAR's
have to
like,
give you a
oh,
reason. I'm like,
y'all,
that's
y'all think you have a little gray area? Look at our gray area. It's huge.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what makes NASCAR so sus. It's like giving an answer without giving an answer.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, we don't have to give you an answer.
No, they
for
don't.
why.
Did you watch the
It's
Elton
like,
Sawyer
well, that's
interview?
kind of
No, I
a
didn't.
more definitive thing.
Did you watch the Elton Sawyer interview?
Yeah,
What you said is literally it was an answer without an answer. You're like, what?
yeah.
You're like,
Nah.
what? So what was it he got penalized for? The whole of everything. It was
The whole.
not any one thing, just the culmination of everything together. Like what?
Whatever, bro.
Yeah,
Were
no.
you writing an essay over there?
No, but he did say like they're not going to go into the exact thing.
Because they got to write the rule first.
Well, because there's an appeal coming. They
Yeah.
anticipate an appeal. So, because like the way the whole appeal works, it's basically a lawsuit case. Is how it works like a court case. So there'll be
Yeah.
in the defense, and there will be the prosecutor. Yeah, NASCAR's the prosecutors, obviously, and so the way it works, for those who don't know, like the appeal panel is not NASCAR. It's a group of industry people that I think are maybe selected at random. I'm not sure how
I'm
they get
actually on the
selected.
appeal process. I'm on the court.
That makes a lot of sense.
DQA.
We went through this. We went through this earlier in the year. Like everyone's on.
How
it.
did that work? Did you get on it after Brad had his deal?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I had to.
He
He
lobbied
needed a
his-
voice.
He's
he
probably
lobbied
why
The
Brad's
little
on
man
there.
needed the voice.
lobbied himself in there.
Yep.
But so both parties present the case, and then the appeals penalty makes a decision. They can either increase the fine or penalty, or they can reduce it, or they can keep it the same. You know, a lot of times, like,
Joke's on you. You showed up. Now we're taking your win away.
but the win,
And your next win.
but the win means nothing without the playoff berth.
It means nothing.
I mean, you get the purse money, I guess, but
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
yeah, I mean, the real money is the $2 million it would be if he gets at least into 16th in the playoffs.
Yep.
Or just in the end of the the end.
Which
of the
at that
season.
point, it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's always.
I
So,
mean,
I'm real mad about this.
and the other
honestly.
thing is like,
I thought about it for 2 days.
Imagine they lose and award the points to Denny Hamlin.
Oh my gosh.
bro, I would be salty, bro.
Because if they DQ the win, that would officially make Hamlin the winner.
It
Yes.
would.
So
Yeah.
wouldn't he then get the playoff points?
But he was in an accident.
That
so
would be wild.
Shouldn't he start at the rear of the field?
No, he keeps his position just
Oh,
like
okay.
Kyle Busch.
Whatever, bro.
Nah, but like
We
obviously,
really,
the,
Lindsay, can you start working on a NASCAR equals trust issue?
the
Already working on
but
it.
the inconsistency with NASCAR, and then also what just fueled the fire for me was like I sat there and I listened to Denny Hamlin's podcast the next
me
day.
too.
I'm like, bro, I Like I need to turn it off. My blood pressure is like going way up. I'm like, dude, this dude's complaining and does it all the time, multiple
Yeah.
times a year.
Yeah.
And gets the win and doesn't get it taken away.
Nope.
What?
To me, the
Bruh.
only thing,
It's all about
the
the money.
only thing that could possibly, like, I feel like if it was just the Denny Hamlin, there's no penalty. If it's just the Logano, there's no penalty. It's only because
There
both
was two.
happened in the same corner. So that's got to be the only reason. But at the
You
same
know-
time, like we talked about this, like NASCAR put these guys in this box.
You know what's wild is because like my thing was I was figuring it was the bigger issue was what he did with Logano, and
No, nobody cares about Logano.
Nobody cared. Everyone was just
No one
talking
feels
about
bad
what
He
for
hurt
him.
his shoulder.
Everybody
he needs to pay.
Everyone was talking about what he did to the 11, and
He
I
needs to pay. He
and I
hurt
looked-
his shoulder. That's unacceptable in
Stop it,
NASCAR's
stop
eyes.
it, Matt.
What about Tyler Reddick hitting Austin Dillon going to the turn one? Nobody's going to talk about that?
That either.
Literally not a word.
Nope.
I'm like, so you just hit the winner of the race as of now. He is the winner. You hit him on the cool down lap going into turn one like that. Like that's
For what reason?
Didn't Bubba Wallace get a pretty significant?
To be fair, Bubba Wallace's hit
penalty
was
though?
much worse than when his
Was it?
side
I don't
into a
know,
wall
man.
versus bumping
Like,
him from behind.
But
I
it's
think so.
intentionally hitting under caution. Are we
I
going to
agree.
rule it or are we not?
No. I agree.
And to me, like if it's back in the field and you've been running 20th and you're frustrated with each other, you got to door each other a little bit, like that's whatever. But like you're going to go up. Reddick, you weren't even in the fight. You have no reason to be mad. Like you wrecked my boss. I'm mad. This is for
my hurt his shoulder.
You weren't even being competitive.
Bro.
I'm gonna get brownie points for this.
dude, right? that's what NASCAR butt kissing looks like.
Right.
Golly,
I
man.
did love seeing Joey
Benny's
Logano's interview following, or one of his like short interviews following the announcement of the penalties, and he's just doing the standard Joey Logano like, you know, it is what it is kind of a thing. You know, it's just like
So annoying.
it is what it is. There shouldn't have
I
been people
thought-
on there anyway, but like
I
Well,
was.
he's like, I had full control of my car, and I was like,
It
Yeah,
was,
okay.
it
I
was
mean,
starting to go
I
sideways.
can
Must be
appreciate in the
first time all
moment.
year.
I can appreciate in the moment. He probably felt like that, but dude, that was still bad. How do y'all feel about the Joey Logano penalty? I feel like it's not severe enough.
So okay,
That
so
wasn't
here's,
cool.
I
They should have
agree.
made his one win encumbered.
You are no longer playoff eligible.
No,
We take the clash away.
I thought it should have been at least $100,000 fine. But I will say the only thing that's making me kind of say maybe 50 is okay is because the people shouldn't have been on pit road at that time anyway, and NASCAR's been lax and letting
That's
people.
probably
on.
why NASCAR didn't make it worse.
That's what I think.
but at
is
the same
case.
time,
But
there's still an official there.
I agree. There's still people.
So
out.
remove all the family or whatever. Teams are allowed to be on pit road.
Yep.
Right. So you have teams and officials. So you remove the handful of sponsorship people and you remove the handful of family. Right. You still have a mass of people there.
You still have the crew.
Like, and really the closest person to getting hit was an official.
Yeah.
But I do agree. NASCAR did not do a good job of policing it, and they haven't.
I like what you
But
said. though.
I still really, really don't like it. Like I would rather him just pull up and get out of his car and be ready to go to war.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Ready
say,
to
I
go.
like
You know
what
what I
you
mean?
said about in your video. Just let them police themselves. You know, that's kind of a good
Always
part
have
of
at
it.
it.
you
I
know?
don't like the I'm gonna come by and rev my engine around all of y'all. Like, bro, get out and do something.
What is
Annoying.
revving your engine's not a
fight
threat.
until they fall.
I'm
to
in
the
my car.
ground.
Rawr.
But okay, so
Matt,
the Austin Dillon penalty. Do you think it was fair? It needs to be worse or should be less?
Oh, I think it's total BS. I absolutely hate the call. I hate the fact that you can have a winner and not have them in the playoffs. I'll throw it out there. I think it's so stupid. NASCAR has this rule, or they've set up the idea for the last 10 years. 2014 they started
Yeah,
this
10
nonsense.
years.
You win and you're in.
That's what-
Sorry you didn't
that's what
like
the
how he
commercial
won.
says.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's just I think it's so frustrating
it's-
because now
but there
it's
is
a
a
whole other
line.
bracket.
There is a line in the rule book that says you can become playoff ineligible for a win if you break these couple rules.
They need to say that during the commercials and
Yeah.
let everyone
Yeah.
know, because now there's a whole nother bracket of your winners and your playoff people because he's not in it. It's
It should
and
be
then-
like one of those pharmacy commercials where like, where if you win, you get a win. Or if you
Unless
win, if you
NASCAR deems
win,
it
you're
not
in the
worthy.
playoffs. Side effects may include if you wreck too many drivers, you're not included in the playoffs.
Two or more drivers included in the wreck during the final lap.
like,
It may make you an encumbered
The
way.
little asterisk at the bottom of the
if you say
screen. Like,
something- if you say something we don't like on social media, you will
Like,
be banned.
I'm sorry, but at the point, like, just take
Including
away the
Denny Hamlin and
win.
Joey Logano.
Just take it away. Be like, no, you didn't win. You roughed the driver, whatever you want to call it. Take it away and
so
start again.
Kuzma makes an interesting point. He says, "Did Denny ever get penalized for hitting Bowman during his celebration at Martinsville? He did not.
Nope, not a single bit.
Nope.
Nope.
So like,
And-
I don't know. Like, so we've seen Logano and Hamlin both do these things before, but not somebody doing 2 in 1 lap.
I still
I
don't
think that's the line, but I think this should have been NASCAR should have let it stand, but they should have said, okay, you can bump a guy, you can spin a guy out, but if you go crazy and you wreck 2 guys, that's the line going forward. Just like the Hell Melon, we're not going to strip
I was
Ross of the
just thinking
playoffs
that.
berth, but going forward, don't do this. If
Yes,
it's you
why
and
could they
another
not do
guy
that?
and y'all are going at it, go for it.
It's
But
so silly. It's so stupid.
there is no line established. That's
No.
what makes it unfair.
No, it's one of those things where you got us.
Yeah.
You won't do that again.
I think there's a
No
real
one will do
I think
that
there's
again.
a real case for Austin Dillon to say the 11 came up so fast. He didn't see me. I barely
Everything
saw
was
him.
fast.
I don't even think
and I
Austin,
initially
I don't even
just
think he really
reacted.
hit him.
See,
He
that's
was
what I'm
going
saying, bro.
sideways through
No,
the corner.
the SMT 100% shows him turning left when they made contact.
Oh,
Okay.
But Austin,
Quick question,
but Austin
though.
said he did
He
that
was
because if he
spinning
did not,
out.
he was going to wreck in front of the field.
Exactly. How many times do you get loose on a corner and whip the wheel any way you need to?
Yeah.
Sorry,
But here's the
Denny
deal.
Hamlin
think
was there.
Whether he
I don't
turned
know,
him,
man.
like, okay, we can't deny that he turned him. Like, I don't deny that
Oh,
he
yeah.
turned him.
Well, yeah.
But the problem is people aren't mentioning the fact that Denny Hamlin does come up.
Try to squeeze him. 100%.
Classic Denny Hamlin, bro.
So,
that's
okay.
what he does.
However, I'll just
does.
play devil's advocate because I do agree with you.
frustrating.
I think that was definitely the case, but at the same time, keep it. Matt's had enough. But I do think that some of it too is the fact that is the natural racing line to come off the apex and to
No, for
wash up.
sure, for sure.
So
for
there
sure.
is.
There's
I
no
think-
fault on Hamlin for taking that line. Like if you've ever run, and I hate to use iRacing as an analogy, but I do. If you've ever run
It's just
iRacing,
what all the drivers use.
if you use that as your reference, there's no way, like, you can't come down. Like, once you're
No.
coming out of the corner, the way the car rolls up, if you turn down, you're instantly wrecking. And Denny Hamlin didn't know he was there. So, like, there's no fault on Denny Hamlin for this at all. To me, the Denny Hamlin Austin Dillon is just a racing incident.
Exactly. And that's kind of where I was going is I feel like that was not an intentional wreck as much as it was both guys trying to get to the line as quick as they could.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was any malintent there.
So there's been an
Logano,
interesting
100%.
There's been an interesting debate on. Well, I want to address this first. So Seriously Fast Motorsports on Instagram said that NASCAR cannot take the win away because there's no rule that allows them to take a win away unless you're. Well, that's what he says, right? But there is a rule, like if your car is found illegal after tech, post race tech, they then can take a win away. But he passed post race tech.
Yes.
So by passing tech, they cannot take the win away. They can't. There's nothing in the rule book that lets them take the win away. That will probably be amended. I'm sure that's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Similar, like, because NASCAR doesn't want, you won, but you're not in storyline for the next
It's dumb.
12,
That's
13
what
weeks.
everyone's going to talk about. And we just had an official Cup Series race where everyone knew the line because Austin Dillon's out. What are you going to do Wednesday? Say he's back in?
You know what they should do?
What are you going to do? Like, that's dumb.
They
Like,
should just add him to the playoffs and make it 17 drivers, just like they did for Gordon.
You know,
I think that's fair.
NASCAR has already set the precedence.
Jeff Gordon returned.
All right, so something I've seen interesting on Twitter, a lot of communication. Percentage-wise, do you think, like, give me a percentage of you think it'll be overturned versus not overturned? I'm thinking there's probably a real 50-50 because I think if RCR does this right, they can probably convince the appeals panel that there's never been a guideline on what's too far. Nobody's ever been penalized for bumping a guy out of the way since Ricky Rudd in Sonoma in like the 90s, right? And so you can't take a win away now. So how can you take playoff eligibility by bumping too many guys out of the way? And it'll depend on is Denny Hamlin's wreck legitimate? Like, is that intentional? Is it viewed as intentional or just reactionary, as Austin Dillon says? So, like, I think it's really 50-50. I've heard everything from it's a 5% chance they win the appeal. It's a 10% chance they win the appeal. I think it's like 50%. What do y'all think?
I think because it's Richard Childress and they're like a legacy program that they have a lot of say-so or
Big
influence.
fact. Who
you know.
who spent all the coin helping NASCAR develop this car?
Hendrick and RCR.
Richard Childress.
Really?
Yep.
I
That's
thought,
why
I
it
thought
sucks.
Hendrick was
I-
a bigger.
That's why
I
it
think
sucks.
I think the influence.
That's why they were good the first year, and then everybody caught up.
Yeah.
No, I mean seriously, they
No,
had,
it makes
Yeah,
sense.
they did all the initial builds, all that. Like Richard Childress was the ones in lockstep with NASCAR building this
As
car.
much as I don't want to make like the politics side like the focal point of it,
Well,
I
it's
mean it
NASCAR.
it is. It kind of is.
Yeah,
and,
of course it is.
And Richard Childress is like, one of the top 2 guys for the last 30 plus years in NASCAR.
Imagine
No.
they
Big
call it,
influence.
you know, Trump or Richard Childress brought Trump
Oh, yeah.
to a race as like like a VIP guest. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll call Trump as a witness to their character.
Oh my god!
It's like, bro, you're gonna do
team. The best.
Legacy.
The best. Some
The
people say
best
they're
team,
Some
the
people
only
say they're
team.
fast. I don't know if they say they're fast, but some people say they're fast.
They make
Today I agree with
they
it.
make great cars, beautiful cars.
Best on the track.
Best on the track.
No M&Ms to be found.
Nothing beats the 3.
No,
Timothy
I
is
would
the
say
best.
It'd be better if it had Diet
I
Coke
don't
on the
know
car.
who's on the panel, but I assume some of them are old drivers,
There's
right?
there's like
There's old
I
drivers
forget the
on
number,
there,
but
right?
it's like I don't want to say in the ballpark of 50, but it's a bunch, and then there's a random selection of people that get pulled
I
in to
don't
do it.
think a lot of veterans like the move. I really don't.
There's not a lot of veterans. It's a lot of I think
What, a tire changer? Like
I think Jordan Bianchi is a part of that group. I think there's other news people, broadcasters, like it's industry. There's
Jamie Little's judging
there's like
this.
there's big. Well, yeah, she's watching. She's
Is
spon- she
Danica
does-
judging it too?
They're probably all for it.
I don't know.
No, I'm just.
Danica-
It's a bunch of the industry people. The only thing I don't like there's like some sponsor people in there. Like that's kind of weird. Like
Based
I
off
don't
of-
think a lot of big wigs liked it for like the
Publicity.
Thank you.
why?
I just don't.
News is news, whether it's good or bad.
I don't think they liked it.
Clicks are clicks, bro.
I don't think they liked it. We were
I
we
feel
were like
like
one of the
they're
only
indifferent.
people that were like, yeah, this
Honestly-
is 100% justified, and everyone else was like, no,
Everybody
it's not.
was
This is the
roasting
worst.
this online. Like,
Our comment section was wild.
Fire.
Bro.
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm with you. I like.
I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of big people liked
NASCAR
it.
did this to themselves. This is totally what NASCAR wanted, whether they are willing to admit that or not. This is the kind of stuff they wanted because drama
think
leading
you
up to
gotta
the
pay the
playoffs.
piper.
But do you want it with Richard Childress?
I don't think it has anything to do with
Doesn't
that.
matter.
I think
I don't
NASCAR
know,
has
bro.
realized the sandbox they have created. Also, because they have set no boundaries, it can go so far that it like questions the legitimacy of the championship, which is already in question.
They could put
You
a
know?
rule in tomorrow saying, hey, this is fine today, but come Daytona, don't let this
do
happen
the T-Rex car treatment to it.
Yeah, you could.
The,
Hey,
the,
stay
the,
tuned.
the Hail Melon.
Hail Melon.
So,
Yeah.
same thing. Like, hey, like if you wreck one guy, it's fine. But if we see you going above and beyond, wrecking 2 guys, you've gone too far.
Yeah, intentionally like dooring 2 or 3 people.
I don't think he even intentionally jumped Joey Logano. He didn't hit him that hard. I mean, he hit him, but it wasn't like he just flat out dumped him. He hit him, and these cars you can't save them. They break they break
Traction.
traction, and they spin out. Like, but I don't even think the Joey Logano move was that egregious. I mean,
No.
we've seen Joey Logano do this to Matt Kenseth. You know, we've seen Joey Logano do this like multiple
William
times.
Byron.
Like William Byron Darlington, that was kind of payback though, because Byron did kind of fence him earlier. But then like the Denny Hamlin, the big thing
And
to
he's
me,
super
like the
speedway
whole
with
Denny
Brad.
Hamlin, like the whole defense, like with Denny Hamlin, he's like, this is the way you come off the corner. Like, okay, bro, I would buy that if you respected Ross Chastain and Kyle Larson being on your outside and just like and gave them a lane, but you didn't. Both times you washed up and made them get out of the gas, or in Ross's case, got in the fence because he didn't get out of the gas. Like, you can't, like, this is the thing, like, about Denny Hamlin. Like, I love Denny Hamlin. I like his podcast
Whoa,
and everything,
easy.
but like these moments, like, bro,
Gonna
I
lose
can't stand
followers.
you. Like, you're so hypocritical that you would say, you know, like, oh, it's you can't do this in this situation, and then you like literally months ago, a year ago at Pocono, you did the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you dump people for the win. Bowman dumps
Well,
you for the win.
I
You,
think
you get
it's-
out and call the dude a hack.
I think it's all about
Like,
like the
come on,
mindset
man.
is everyone's like, oh, when I put on the helmet, I have no friends. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But then you get
So
wrecked
does
and you're
Austin
like,
Dillon.
he was supposed to be my friend. I can't believe he'd do this. This is
Yeah.
unjustified.
There's
And it's like,
there's no driver's conduct anymore.
You know what I thought
yeah,
was you know what?
right? But
There was-
hey, I have no friends when I put on the helmet.
the funniest
what
thing
what are we doing?
I saw people talking about was they're like, man, the Coca-Cola family of drivers is really mad at each other right now.
4 out of 5 family drivers are not happy.
Yeah, three of them are all mad at each other, or specifically. And then there was all the comments about Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. It's like, did we just become best friends? Step Brothers, and I was just cracking up.
They both went at war against a silver spoon.
Right. Good luck. You're not gonna win. His pockets are bigger. So. I wish I was not kidding. All right, so do we want to jump back to the race then?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's kind of, because now we're way into this episode, so let's go ahead and jump through this. Stage 1, we had about 50 lap run with weather coming.
Stage 1 was super important. Denny
Yeah.
Hamlin wrecked himself. Bravo. Thank
Okay.
you, Denny.
Didn't even need Austin's help this time.
Did 60% damage to the undercarriage and then got it back to 90%.
Yeah. I
Man, if only we raced the whole race last night, he would have been screwed.
I picked him for the fantasy league. It was looking really good right up until he
I just
lost
want you guys
talent.
to
Okay,
know
everyone
my
else
highest
picked
driver was
Larson.
18th
Yeah.
today. 18th was my highest driver. And it was Blaney.
My highest was Brad, 5th.
That must be nice.
Everybody else was 20th back.
I got the win, and Brad.
Okay, so yeah, not a whole lot of wrecks or anything like that, but we did have a lot of hard driving. That the racing at the beginning of stage, you could tell there was a lot of urgency with the weather coming. Like everyone knew that, like, look, get it while you can, and it was very intense. The restarts I thought were phenomenal.
Yeah, they're really good.
3 and 4 wide for a lap or two. Like, I mean, I thought it was great.
The racing before rain usually can be pretty good. They're trying
Yeah.
to get position.
It's usually
before the
is.
rain. So it's kinda
Truex
nice.
ended up going from 25th to 10th.
Did y'all see him on that restart?
Disgusting.
That was
that was
wild. I was like,
nuts.
Disgusting.
bro, you playing on easy? Like, what's going on here?
Kyle Busch simulator.
Yeah,
I
right?
thought with that restart, I was like, oh, it's over. Martin, it's going to rain and Martin's going to win tomorrow. Like,
You know what?
Write it in.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really mad that I did not catch the weather trend, because I was like,
Oh.
I didn't even notice it was going. I mean, it turned out to be okay, but I didn't
Martin
even.
finished like 28th.
Yeah. So, but no, if you don't know, basically everyone should know. Mondays are for Martin,
That's facts.
and it
Not
was
today, though.
it was looking like it was gonna be another repeat of that.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to stage 2, we basically have the rain. We get to today. Basically, wild restart at the beginning of this race. Crazy. There was a crazy tire caution with Logano,
Yeah, did you guys
AJ,
see that?
and Todd
That was
Gilliland.
weird.
All three of them had tire issues, right rear tire issues, 2 laps into the run of tires, and they went to who's Joey Logano's crew chief, Paul Wolf.
Yeah.
They went to Paul Wolf and they're like, "What's up with the tire? Why is it? Are your PSIs okay?" He's like, "Yeah, they're pretty low." Like, he pretty much admitted, like, yeah, they were low. Did you see his tire?
It was 3 of them
Gone.
within
Oh, yeah.
2 laps. Yeah, it was wild.
The funniest part to
No,
me
like
was
his tire was
No,
gone.
it was gone. But I'm saying, like you had all 3 tire issues within 2 laps of each other. Like, I was like, Twitter
They
was
all
like going off.
happened
It's
on
like,
the same lap.
Logano has a
Yeah,
flat. Gilliland has a flat. AJ Allmendinger has a flat and spin. I was like, what is happening?
It was all on the same lap.
the funniest part to me was, but it happened one at a time, because I was like, oh, there's a car with a tire down. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. And I was
Oh, it
like,
was
is
wild.
NASCAR
Somebody-
going to call a caution at any point?
Somebody
Another one.
put the spike strip out, man.
Right?
Like,
That's what it sounded. And people were like, "Oh, is there debris on the track or something?" And then Paul, what's the PSI at? He's like, "It's pretty low." Ooh, sorry. We'll
Yeah.
fix that one next time.
My bad. That one's on me.
So yeah, that was super. That was
then
wild.
then you have a restart with about 5 to 8 to go. A wild,
I think it was 5 to go.
Yeah, wild wreck with 4 to go. That's where Larson gets super loose and basically takes out the whole middle of the field.
Golly,
that was
man.
wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, Arrow just
Kyle Larson went bad until Bell came in there sideways and just destroyed that car.
I know.
someone else went crazy in the back.
Busher, I
I
think.
think Busher,
got
like
some
someone
good
either
damage.
checked up and lost
Somebody
it. and dove
hit Busher
down.
because I can't
Was
remember
it
who it was
Elliott?
because RFK posted a whole thing like a schematic. It showed gas pedal, brake pedal, clutch. Because I guess they just got ARCA braked from the rear and just caused that whole wreck.
Wild. I'm shocked Busher finished that race where he did.
What,
Honestly.
9th or something like that?
Yeah.
6th.
That's
With
wild.
all that damage. I was like, yo.
Did Brad finish, what, 4th,
Fifth.
5th?
See, Brad, you just need some
2
damage.
totally different days and they still finished right together.
Every time.
I was shocked because I
Magnetic.
threw in I saw a Busher wrecked. I was like, he's done.
Oh.
I was going to dump him anyways because he didn't get any points.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting any playoff points. Like, he's not going to get either stage. I was like, listen, I'm going to dump him Truex is going to at least get a good finish, if not win this race. Boom. Boy, was I wrong.
So you had Bubba Wallace was also
Did
involved.
you do it?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace was also in that wreck.
Yeah. Bubba, it killed Bubba's day.
He was. I think he was the car to beat.
Yep.
It was his
He-
race. Well,
he was looking
Super
solid.
Speedway.
he was so fast yesterday, and then he was pretty fast. But judging by how bad Reddick was and how much better he was, or how bad Reddick was today and how much better he was than Reddick yesterday, I feel like Bubba was going to be similar
Yeah.
and get way better, but never got
Yeah.
a chance. I hate that for them, man.
Wrong place.
So
wrong
you
time.
had him, Larson, Elliott was involved in there, and then Michael McDowell also involved in that.
Yeah. There was probably a few
Michael
more.
McDowell
but
was in that?
he
think
was
so.
he was in it. So I don't think he was too bad. but-
spin out. Spin
I don't think
out,
it was
hit
too
the
bad because he
grass.
was still running. I mean,
He's-
it was during pit cycles, but he was still running up
Okay.
front towards the
Yeah.
end.
You think he starts on the pole next weekend?
I don't think so.
No.
He's like front row, like every super speedway.
I don't know.
This might be a
He
Hendrix. though.
dethroned the Hendrick boys
No,
for sure.
we only go for the 500.
Oh, that's
Show
true.
up for one race.
Yep. So that basically takes out Logano. Logano gets DNF'd at
Yeah,
that
he
point.
was done.
And then
Didn't need Austin's help either.
Austin's
Isn't that
back.
funny? Both people get wrecked.
And meanwhile, RCR was looking like they might actually win this race, and I'm thinking this is gonna be
This is the perfect comeback.
this is wild.
Kyle Busch wins.
Come
Austin
on,
wins the appeal. The whole playoffs are blown up.
Kyle just did not have that car. He had short run 5-lap speed,
Yeah.
and then after that,
and if he was in
tanked.
clean air, he was pretty good. I wouldn't say
Well,
the
he
best.
he
but
was running kind of front for a little bit, but
In
I mean,
stage
again,
3.
based off,
So stage
Yeah.
3, it was like 30 to go, and
Yeah.
they decided
Yeah.
to come in 2 tire stop.
That was the
like
call.
no gas or a splash of gas.
again, because of my
Came
limited
out front, right?
Yeah.
And he was good for 5 laps. He held off William Byron, and then
Yep,
he
that's
just
exactly.
tanked, just parachuted.
Can you
back.
imagine? I mean, that was definitely the call to make, man. That 2-tire thing really saved his
It almost
day.
worked out. Imagine if they would have got a timely caution.
Oh, it would have been game over, I think.
Yeah, even by my limited view on the NASCAR app, like you saw him, he was running up front, and William Byron just kind of like whoop, and
yeah.
like when one, I was not one turn, but one corner as a whole, like he lost the top 2 positions already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just
I
what it
mean,
is. He just didn't have the raw speed.
The biggest thing with stage 3 was the flip. I mean, Corey LaJoy
yeah.
flipping. Fun fact,
I was getting there.
NASCAR fact here. Tyler Reddick has won 2 super speedways this year, and at both super speedways, Corey LaJoy's been upside down.
What?
Michigan is not a super speedway.
Talladega. It is a super speedway.
No, it's Michigan International Speedway.
If you look at their track facts, it says super speedway. So I go off of that. It's 2 miles.
And they're faster here than they are at Talladega.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it's the
Daytona.
fastest
Grody.
track. Yeah, you can call it the super duper.
Michigan International on the app. Get on my level.
Okay, hold on. Let me prove you wrong.
All right.
here.
So, anyways,
Anyway,
let me do
so
this real
let's
quick.
move on into stage 3 while Matt's doing that. So, obviously, probably the wildest thing that happened in stage 3 was the flip of Corey LaJoy.
I told you.
Stop it! If you don't know,
Matt's
there's
not even listening.
if you know, there's a actual a
I'll
little
tell
bit
the
of a
story.
thing.
Because I don't know. So we went to Daytona. I don't know if everybody knows. So we went to Daytona last year.
Last year,
And
There
the
we go.
week before, I had just been doing a lot of studying and about the likelihood of these cars being able to flip because I'd seen a few things throughout the year. I'm like, this car looks a little sus, like it might want to flip. And I'd actually, based off of my deep research, many hours, not really.
with the whiskey and YouTube.
Yep. I think I have identified at about 175 to about 180 miles per hour. If this car is sideways by itself, it flips. We saw that with Harrison Burton. We saw that with Ryan Preece. I don't believe the whole grass theory. The grass did not help Ryan Preece. I think he was flipping regardless. And now, to me, this is just, it's proven.
There's
I
no
was
grass
right.
today.
Matt, just tell me
Yeah.
I'm right. That's all I need to hear. Matt's just mad because I yelled at him because he didn't believe me when we went last year. He did not believe me. And so basically, I had this theory, and then I think this today proves it. He was all by himself. Nobody else hit him. About 175 miles an hour is about the
Nowhere
speed
near close to the
when he
grass.
started going airborne.
yeah.
Great conversation.
No, I was I
Interacting
agree.
with people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
Well, the
No, I
focal
agree.
point of the story was what you said after it
The
happened
end.
that day.
Yeah. I was a little heated.
Told you.
Jake
Well,
turns
it's because
around.
Matt shot me down for like 2 weeks. Like,
Okay,
nah,
no,
bro.
you have to
Nah,
understand.
bro. Nah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so no, hold on.
Matt
We're
gaslights me.
We are in
I will look it
Daytona.
up
We're
later.
at Daytona.
Right? So we're in Daytona,
It's a
right?
super speedway,
This
bro.
man just flips on the backstretch. The entire grandstand is silent, terrified.
Oh,
This
yeah.
man is in serious pain. Jake turns around, looks Matt straight dead in the eyes, just like, I told you.
There may have been a word in between.
There was another word in there too. And he's like, and everyone
Easy
starts
now,
turning
easy
around
now.
and
No,
looking,
it was- that was
looking
the
at
funniest
Matt and was
part.
like, what
I just looked
what
over
did
like,
you
what the
say,
funniest
man?
part?
No. What did I do? He gaslit me for 2 weeks.
Still,
I've been doing the research and he didn't believe me. When you wear a tinfoil hat, this is why I give you a hard time.
This is the funniest
needed.
part because like
Jake needs a
everyone
little
was just
gaslighting.
sitting there like
Yeah.
everyone was there just like oh my gosh that was kind of
That was
bad.
the weirdest thing because I looked around like, why are you yelling at me? Like, what did I do? And everyone else was like, oh, wow.
He didn't believe me and I
Something's
was
really
right.
going on back there.
It
I
was just
told
funny
him,
because
I told him
everyone's
going
just sitting
into
there
that
like,
race, if a car gets sideways about 175, it'll flip. And he was like, no, it won't.
But
You're
we were-
wrong.
we were
That's
sitting there-
that research. No. And I was right.
just everyone in the
And
stands
I'm
is
right
like,
again,
oh,
Matt. I told you.
oh my gosh this crash is bad and then you just have Jake.
When do we leave for Daytona?
Sure. I told you.
I
We need that as a shirt.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good one.
I told you.
I told
All right,
you.
so and then the weirdest thing to me though is the fact that I know this isn't really in our notes here, but like Xfinity, there was a flip at almost
It's in the Xfinity notes.
Very-
Very, go into it now. It
yeah,
looked the same.
very
it was almost
very
identical.
similar. Which
There are some differences, though, because the
Some.
Xfinity cars, when they turn around that fast,
So I guess it's not
they
the car.
don't. Huh?
It's not the Gen 7 car. It's just
No, it is
Michigan.
because the Xfinity car doesn't do that.
Oh, they did.
No,
They
because okay, you want me to break
Oh,
it down
here
for
we
you?
go.
Break it
Where's-
down.
I wasn't trying
Where's
to
the
get
green
into-
screen, DJ?
No, we're not doing that.
I broke this down for DJ and Jeff, and they said I was right. Told you. Anyway,
to be
no.
fair, I
So
said it
what
made
it is,
sense.
if you look, the rear,
Gave 'em the Kool-Aid,
rear.
eh?
Oh, you know what? Here we go. The rear of the Xfinity car is starting to go up in the air, and if you look at the replay, as it's
Hold on,
starting to
hold
go
on.
Grown
up,
man playing with cars, everybody.
as it's starting to go up, look, you have the other car down below. This blocks all the air and causes the rear to continue to push over.
That's
right?
not an Xfinity car.
This is. Get your facts straight,
I don't
homie.
think so.
Get your facts straight,
They don't
homie.
look like it.
It's an old Xfinity
So
car.
with the next gen car, we were kind of breaking this down using aerospace and science.
Science.
Because we
No,
went to Emory Riddle, if you can believe that.
Well, we've been close
I've driven by it.
a bunch. I think the problem is with the underwing. It's not that the underwing of these Cup cars that's flat is the issue. I think the issue is that because it's flat, it's not that it's pushing up, but it allows the air that once it gets airborne, it allows the air to travel underneath it more quickly, which makes it more difficult for the air to roll over the top, thus creating lift, right? And I think that's what causes the car to go upside down, because as soon as it goes upside down, the airfoil profile, if you know anything about airfoils and airspace, if that flips over, you see, if you watch it in slow-mo, you can clearly see this trajectory where it's going up, it flips over, and then once it gets over, and it has the lift effect, but down. It's reversed, and you can see how quickly it sucks the car back down. So I think the problem is, I think it is the what do they call that, the thing on the bottom?
Diffuser.
Yeah, the diffuser that goes across the whole body of the car, that whole under thing. I think the problem is it allows the air to not get turbulent underneath the car, causing it to pull it over quickly. We see the same thing with Harrison Burton's crash, and we see the same thing with Ryan Preece's crash, and the same thing with Corey LaJoie. The old cars, you would see them flip, and they kind of hang there for like a minute. Like if you saw like Joey Logano's crash, like he really went up and then kind of, it was a very smooth transition. But these cars aren't. They really get up to about a certain point, and then all of a sudden, once that air is traveling over the top and starts moving more quickly, it rotates it quick, it gets flat, and then lands on the roof. The
Yeah.
same way every time.
Yeah.
And it comes down fast.
So I don't know that they can fix it without removing the whole underpan.
I don't think
Because
Yeah, totally.
you don't have, like in these old cars, you don't have all this different stuff down here creating a bunch of turbulent air, which slows it down to reduce the rollover effect around the top of the car.
No, I totally agree.
So I don't, and then like I said, I don't know what they could do, because like with the flat underpan, which I mean this is a model, but it's super
Very
accurate.
similar.
And then the other thing me and DJ were talking about, if you can see, I'm not sure if you can, especially if you're listening.
Yeah,
not watching.
right. If you're listening on the
close
podcast,
your
I
eyes and imagine.
apologize for this entire part.
So the front nose of the
We'll
cars
just
have
flip it.
openings, right? Similar to like where the brake ducts are. And that bleeds air or funnels air around the tire, around the back of the brake. There's no brake ducts or anything. There's no tubes or anything. It just funnels air through and then around the outside of the wheel here. And what that does, that helps reduce the dirty air, right? But I think when we were watching the Corey LaJoie wreck, this was the weak point of the start of the flip.
Yes,
Because if
the
you
front-
watch
the
it in
front,
slow motion, it starts in the front.
Yes.
Because you have a big area to catch air here, which could be a problem.
Well, because what I was saying is because these cars also at the front, the louvers, as we've heard many times, that has air going in, and that goes in down through the car and everything.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking may have happened, and this is, I don't know, but I'm thinking air may have went in there, and it kind of like the air stagnated, and basically instead of having downforce there when you normally did, you went to having negative pressure, and it just enough to lift the car for a split second and create some lift.
So that's where it goes back
I don't know
to
what you could do to fix that.
I was probably overly passionate at Daytona last year. But
Probably, definitely.
It's the right amount
I
of
do
passion.
I do think there are major flaws here that they're not going to be easier fixes. Like, in the previous car they would add the shark fin here. This
Shark fin.
what do they call this? Oh my gosh, I'm a total brain fart.
What?
The fin here.
You told
that
me.
is
I know I
called-
told you earlier. And
A wing.
No, because I was talking about one over here.
No, there's only one here and the one's on the top. So these are used to help slow down the air a little bit, so it's not such a quick wraparound. But these aren't the problem. I don't know, without a total redesign of the under of this car and the way it moves air through the bottom, I don't know that you can fix this problem. Like,
I don't know.
think it's
I'm
a
not
real problem.
I'm not an engineer.
I did study a lot of aerospace when I was
Cars
young.
go upside down. That's kind of fun. That's so.
But
as
I
long as
think-
they're safe. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
The
that's
worst
true.
thing-
It's true. I agree. Like, even Denny Hamlin said today in his post race, he's like, I'd rather flip upside down than hit a wall head on at
that's
170.
fair. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I totally agree with that.
So-
I think the hardest thing I saw from the Corey LaJoie today is when he hit the grass and he finally landed and sat there.
They say that's some of the hardest hits.
That looked so painful.
There's
like,
no-
Yeah.
there's
the
no-
tumbling. It's a little nick, top. But when all that weight finally dissipates and you just crash on the ground, like you're sitting in a steel seat. That's like jumping
that's
off a
bolted
story,
to the
and
frame.
you're just like you land on
Here's the-
concrete. That can't be fun.
It's a seat that is bolted directly to the frame.
Yeah, that's
There's no
horrible.
compression. There's no nothing at all.
The problem I'm having with the argument of like, is flipping as bad as running into a wall? It's like, yes, that's probably true in most cases, but would you put that in like the few flips we've seen over the past few years, like Ryan Preece? I don't know. Like, that's pretty bad.
That one was bad.
I've been
you
to
know-
enough super speeder races. I'm tired of seeing flips. I used to think like a long time ago, it was like, oh man, it's cool. It's a wild wreck. Like, it's quite the spectacle. Like back when we went to the truck
Yeah.
race and saw Christopher Bell flip, like it was like, wow, it's wild. And then I saw Austin Dillon's
Well, I
crash.
think being there in
saw
person
Kyle
for-
Larson's crash into the catch fence and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I'm over seeing race cars going to air. I don't.
That's fair.
Not about it.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree
like
with
what concerns me about this car is it's going to take a radical thing to fix it. And honestly, maybe this is the thing that makes them redesign this car and fix it, because I won't go into it. Anyways,
We still have more of the
I-
podcast to go.
yeah, but
I have
get
a
it.
real, and without going way into it, I have a real concern of this car hitting a catch fence. I've seen a lot of race cars
I
hit the
didn't
catch
even
fence.
think about that. We haven't seen this one.
Let
hit a
me go
fence.
into it a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
Ryan Preece's crash. How much did that car break?
Not a lot.
not a lot.
Corey LaJoie's wreck.
Not a lot.
Chris Buescher's.
Not a lot.
Okay, now Austin Dillon from 2015.
Disintegrated.
Disintegrated. Gone.
So I worry that this car is so rigid that a catch fence crash could be really, really bad, because this car doesn't break.
No.
It does not break. What crash have we seen where you're like, man, that thing is completely obliterated?
The closest
You just
one was
don't.
Priest. Priest would have been the
Yeah,
closest
and
destruction.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
half
like
that
front
car
on,
could be pulled off and raced again.
Blaney had a
Yeah.
pretty nasty wreck.
But the
front
whole
on.
rear of the car was fine.
Yeah.
But like
That's
back,
wild.
back in the Gen 6 era, like the Brad car here, that would have twisted the whole frame. That whole car would have been junked if it hit like that. But this car just doesn't.
Yeah, Blaney went on to win the championship with that car.
So like, I don't know. I don't want to be like doom and gloom, but like that, I mean, let me just say this. My seats went up a section at Daytona. After
not
seeing
gonna
Ryan Newman flip over my head, that was pretty intense. But yeah, anyways,
Yep.
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to see how NASCAR approaches it.
Yeah, I don't know. My thought was the hood flaps or the roof flaps, maybe make those bigger. Maybe that might help grab the air quicker or
Maybe.
grab it sooner.
You know
Maybe.
what? Call it
maybe
crazy.
maybe you need one sideways.
Sideways, fully sideways.
Brad
I
may have
do,
figured it out with the convertible.
I mean,
Hey,
You know what? Arrow might be a different story there.
NASCAR
we took
MX5 series.
60% off.
I remember before we moved the seats, because normally when we go to Daytona, I tend to sit at the campsite or the RV on top of the RV and watch the race most of the time. So the first time when you took me to the seats before you moved them up, it's like, oh yeah, this is where I watched these wrecks happen. I'm like, that's close.
Yo.
That's real close.
Yo.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we went with Austin Dillon, hit the catch fence. We were about 15 rows up. There's a video. If you find it on YouTube, you can see me and my wife there. And I mean, it was vicious.
It was wild.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
Kyle Larson was rough. Like,
Oh yeah.
how
I don't
about we
remember the
just
Kyle
how about we
Larson one.
just stop having? No, that was before
It
your
was a
time.
long time ago, right?
2012.
his first?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
still
Well, it's a
Chip
different
Ganassi.
feeling when you see him wrecking on the back stretch versus on the front stretch, like right there. It's like, oh, flips, they're cool and stuff like that. That Ryan Priest crash was crazy. And it's like, yeah,
Keep in
would
mind-
you be saying that if it happened like right on
No,
the
it-
pit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
We could see Ryan Priest clearly flip from the grandstands.
From where
That's
we're
how
at,
high
yeah.
up he was going.
I watched Ryan Newman fly over my head like this as he flew. After
no,
he got hit.
he went this
well,
way.
I mean, I was trying to do it like this way because like it looks like.
What was that song? I see fields of green. I see Ryan Newman.
So I hope NASCAR can find a way to mitigate this because I mean they're not going to fix anything before next week, and next week is going to be wild.
Yep. All right, let's go on and finish talking about this. Man, keeping y'all on track has been tough. So obviously we had the 7 flip. That was what we've been talking about. And then we have the 24, the 45, the 9, 8.
They all came alive at the end there.
Came alive.
The
toward
9
end.
was pretty good all
Where
day.
did the 24 come from?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
real.
know.
Where
the
did
9,
he
the
come
9 was
from?
good all day. The
He
24
was
came out of nowhere.
decent. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a top 5, but like
The
I don't know.
45 all of a sudden changing plans and suddenly he was good.
He was
Yeah.
terrible at the start of the rain delay resumption.
Yeah.
he was terrible.
he was the last car on the lead lap on the start of stage 3, and
Oof.
he won the race. That's wild.
That is
Yeah.
pretty wild.
This car on big tracks is awesome.
Everyone's been raving about his stats, though. His stats are pretty insane.
He's
His
only going to get
stats
better.
in Michigan. This is one of
Yeah.
his worst tracks.
Yeah.
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 Bro, he put on a heater.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he probably should have. He should have won Chicago, right? If he doesn't hit the wall, and he had a chance to win last week. And then what was the race before that he almost won?
He almost won Kansas. He almost won Darlington.
Almost
He
won
had-
Darlington.
He had at
He's
least
gotten
three.
a lot of
he
second
could
places this
easily
year.
have
thought-
5 wins,
I think
maybe
he has
6.
I thought it was
second place
3.
finishes.
I thought it was 3 second places, but he's had like 5 or 6.
What was
like,
the other
within
one that
top
was
5.
egregious that he gave away? That he was so mad about like 2-3 weeks ago. It was right before the Olympic break. It wasn't. Was it Indy? It was.
It
Indy.
was Indy.
It
He
was
was
Indy.
mad.
Indy.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
What,
I didn't-
no.
I didn't remember.
That was
No, there
rigged
was
from
another
the
one.
start.
Hold
Indy
on.
was rigged from the start. Come on. We talked about
I know
that
because he was
nonsense.
putting on the sad face during his interview. He was like,
It was pretty.
was so
Was it
sad.
Pocono? No.
no.
I don't remember what.
I
I,
don't
I
remember
thought it was Indy.
either.
Like,
Nashville.
Nashville.
Sure.
that's what it
Nashville.
was.
Yeah. So I mean, it's super interesting because that's where Logano won that race, right? Yes, that's where he should have been
Gross.
able to beat Logano, but he couldn't pass him. But I think, man, he is a couple laps away from having 5-6 wins. So like, dude, he is
Y'all
a
made fun of me.
championship favorite that nobody's talking
You
about.
all made fun of me when I brought it up, your Final Four.
Yeah. you
Everyone's
know?
like, Denny Hamlin's going to make it. I was like, nah, Tyler Reddick's going to make it in.
No, Denny Hamlin gonna make it.
No.
Oh, he is
If
gonna-
not if Austin Dillon has anything to say about it. I don't think y'all understand. The 11 and 22 seasons, done round of 16. Sorry. Austin Dillon,
11?
100%.
Nah, you're tripping.
Kyle Busch in the 3 car, they will purposely pick
No.
pit road places.
no.
Oh, 100. You don't think that's going to happen?
Why
Come
are they mad
on.
at? I mean, I could be mad at Denny Hamlin a little bit for talking so much smack on his
An
podcast.
hour and
but is that
30
worth it?
minutes.
Depends on
of
how
whining.
Austin might be mad at Joey for almost
Yeah, but
running
you
his
still,
family
you still
over.
got the trophy. I could see him
Doesn't
making it hard
matter.
on.
He almost ran over.
Logano.
I'm telling you. I think
That's
the
good
11,
points, DJ.
11 and 22 out round of 16.
Denny
They're gonna
Hamlin's your
have 3
champion this
horrible
year.
races.
I already called it.
Yeah, you're all out.
All right, so then we have obviously we talked about the 19
Real
wreck.
quick, I do want
No,
to.
go ahead.
Sorry. If Hamlin does win the championship, then who becomes the next greatest without a championship?
And wouldn't it go back to Mark Martin?
I guess it could.
Gucci Mane?
Mark
That's-
Martin would
that's true.
go back on
I
his
just
throne.
wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure if anyone had an argument for
I
someone
mean,
else.
it's, I mean,
you know.
a great contender nominee would be
There's-
Dale Jr. But
Okay.
I mean, he should have had one, but he said a bad word on TV.
That's wild.
That's
that
still
came down to
crazy
that.
to me.
It was that
NASCAR,
close.
baby.
Yeah, but then Joey can go on.
Would
his-
you say
and
Jeff
But then
Trust
Joey
over-
can go on his interview. after.
Would you? Yeah, right. Would you say about trust issues?
NASCAR's like, you know what? We've had a lot of time to think about this, and we're gonna change this.
Could you imagine if they went back and sorry, we're gonna take those points back.
We're gonna actually give the championship now to Junior.
that would be fire.
That'd be hilarious. All right, so then
That'd
we
be
have
kinda fire,
we
but-
have the 19 tagging the wall with 5 to go.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that part, but a lot of drivers choosing not to pit. So a lot of people stayed out. About only 15th and back pitted.
I mean, it was kind of the right call. The highest driver that pitted, I think, was Buescher. He came in and slapped 2 tires on it. He went from 15th to 6th in 2 laps.
Yeah.
So I mean,
pretty good.
made up some laps for him.
Yep, you had the
I
9.
thought Kyle Busch would have done that, man. Come in and get 4 freshies. KFB
Just not
simulator.
enough time.
Yeah, but imagine. I mean, we all thought there was going to be another wreck. I mean,
I
that's
did.
what everybody was
Oh,
saying
yeah.
in the group chat. So if you can get 2 restarts, you make all your time in turn 1.
Well,
in turn
didn't
They almost
didn't
re-
Reddick have older tires too? I saw that.
Like
we were
40
talking
lap
about
tires.
that, but
not like super.
I
not
thought
a
Reddick
lot
had a
older.
couple lap older
Yeah,
tires,
that's
but
what I
I
thought you were
think the
saying.
stat may have been wrong. I think he might have had fresher tires. The stat on NBC may have
I know
been
they were
wrong.
like 40 laps without pitting.
Yeah.
The highest was Byron. Byron was like 55 laps. Like
Yeah.
he was out of gas by the end of that race.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, so then it was right. Man, and Byron was still fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's because
Gross.
he didn't have weight. All the fuel was gone.
So I do want to throw in there
Brad?
the whole Brad situation. Remember
Of
how
course.
he hit? So no, it was the engine shut off. The engine shut off.
I mean, he just ran out of
oh
talent.
yeah,
So
Is that the excuse now for like getting scared and letting off the throttle?
It's
He's
a
getting
maybe.
old, bro. He's getting old.
maybe. But no, they were talking. The only reason I caught it was because they talked about it at the very beginning of the day when Chase Briscoe was running up the field. Remember, it was like the start of the race, the first
Yeah.
10 laps. Briscoe was on a move, like he was top 3, and then he fell off. He had the same thing. His engine shut off.
No,
he
it
lost
was
all
super
his
weird.
speed.
When
and he
you-
lost
when you
it.
see the
Ford's
aerial
got a
cam-
thing going on.
Yeah. When you see the aerial cam, like it looks super weird. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
Brad, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
I thought
you're
Byron
200
checked
feet
up.
short, 100 feet short.
I thought Byron checked up and was like, "Oh, I got to slow down." Bumped him back.
just
and it
killed
stacked
the whole-
him. No,
the whole
and
thing,
his
yeah.
engine shut off.
It
He
was
had to
Brad.
cycle the whole thing. I think it's a Ford problem, which I'm not surprised. But
What's
Ford's usually
interesting
the-
is so Toyota has their engine issues. Not really Toyota, JGR. 2311 does not have engine issues. Only 2311.
we'll see.
Not yet, anyways. And then now
Playoffs happen.
Ford's having some little gremlins pop up. Chevy has had none.
Yeah.
They have louvers.
just
Yeah, you don't need more power when you have good louvers.
I was gonna say just wait until 2311 wins the championship, and then Joe Gibbs does the same thing he does the furniture.
Bro. Hey, that might be real.
Joe Gibbs encumbers the championship.
You know,
That's
you,
ours.
do you know what
Shrek wins
happened
the
with all that?
champion.
Furniture Row won the championship and then somehow lost all their money.
Yeah. Do you know how?
no.
So
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're closing
same
shop."
as 2311. They paid 2311 pays Joe Gibbs money to get information to help them be faster. They get data, they get all the telemetry, like they get a bunch of stuff from 2311, set up information. They're in all the competition meetings. They pay Joe Gibbs for this alliance that makes them better. Martin Truex Jr. wins the championship with Furniture Row. Joe Gibbs like, that's cool. Your allegiance, your alliance with us now costs this much.
Yo.
And they couldn't afford it.
That's wild.
And then they quit running as good. And then they could not continue to race.
So
So what you're
That's what I'm
saying,
saying.
Whoa. I didn't know all that.
That's what I'm saying.
But you'd
And
be
then they took their driver. Not only am I going to take your shop, I'm going to take your boy too.
But the only
That's exactly what
to
happened.
me, the difference is that's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Are you gonna do Michael Jordan like that? Because like that might not be
Well,
good.
let's
Because
be-
Michael Jordan is like a big time investor in all these other places. He can be like, don't invest there. I don't know.
No, well, not
it's
to,
interesting.
Let's,
It's super
let's be
interesting.
honest. I don't think that Coach Gibbs would be able to be like, okay, now it's more money, and Jordan's gonna be like, okay, did I stutter? Like,
No, I disagree with that because
He
they
could. He
want
could.
they want the race team to be profitable, and it's
agree.
not.
I agree, but I'm saying he could, and so I don't think that would be like a deterrent for them.
I mean, they win the championship like Joe Gibbs. How much you paying to roll with us?
Hamlin's,
I don't know.
Hamlin's
It's
in a
interesting.
contract year, and he's just like, yeah.
What's next? What's next? What's
All
next?
right,
that's
so
crazy.
anyway, we finish. Then you have the 9 and the 12 having some random issue together.
Alex wasn't happy from the racing
No,
addicts.
sorry, Alex. Interesting. I saw a thing. I think it was on Twitter for Jeff Gluck. He asked Blaney about it, and Blaney's just like asked the 9, and Chase,
was gone.
Get him out of here.
I know where this is going. I'm out.
Yep. So overall a really solid race. But definitely a lot of things that happened. So all right, let's talk about Xfinity. We're gonna fly through these. We're
Yeah,
so
just,
late on the day.
Just in general, what did y'all think about this Xfinity package? It was high downforce. I'm sorry, no, normal intermediate power package aero wise with the low downforce super speedway mode.
Same
What'd
as
you think?
Indy, right?
Yes, same as Indy.
Okay.
I was not a huge fan.
Me neither.
I did not-
Practice
agreed.
gave me high hopes. Race was not good.
Race was very
Yep.
First
single line.
first two laps, dope.
yeah.
After
and then
that, not
everything
good.
fell off.
I have the same opinion. I thought I had.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. Same thing in practice.
I think they should just go to the straight super speedway package with the
Yeah.
high downforce and see if that helps. If you're committed to going down this road,
Yeah.
but don't bring this crap again.
No, I don't think it
Yeah.
was. I mean, it just wasn't great. It was.
I think we would all prefer the higher horsepower normal package, like the normal Xfinity package. Like that's
So why
gonna
did
be a good race.
why didn't they run the intermediate?
What did they run at?
Because they
Indy?
like wrecking a lot of Xfinity cars.
What did
I
they
guess.
run
I
at
don't know.
Indianapolis? Was it this package?
The same
Yeah,
package.
same package.
Why did it work at Indy? Indy was a great race.
I think Indy works because of the long straightaways
Oh, okay.
Long straight.
and the flat corners
Because Indy was
slow
great.
you
We
down
were
a lot.
super entertained watching Indy. We're like, oh, this
Indy
is
was-
great.
Indy
This
was
is
great.
Indy was good.
right.
Indy
And
was
then they
good.
brought it here, and it's like, it's just not. It's
I
not
think
the same.
I think they need more downforce, which would decrease. I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not,
Yeah.
because that would decrease straightaway speeds, but increase corner speeds. But could you, at that point, then be drafting like Atlanta style the whole time? Like I don't know.
I don't know.
well, you
Like
nailed
like
it though.
like the same package. This is the same package they use in Atlanta. They use a hybrid package of intermediate
And
aero.
it works at Atlanta.
No, it
doesn't
does not. No, the
Oh,
Xfinity
no, I'm
race in
thinking of-
Atlanta this
okay.
year was terrible. The Cup race was good because it was the full super speedway package. So like to me, like quit trying to be in the middle, pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Except at Indy. Apparently Indy it worked.
Yeah, actually, Indy was okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
they-
what's weird.
But hey, maybe better with the super speedway aero. So they have a bunch of drag.
Yeah, but he
Bring back the Gen 6 spoilers for the Indy cars.
giant ones like this.
The wing of tomorrow.
the wing of tomorrow.
Just see like Mario over there at DGM just like welding two together.
No,
work.
but you nailed it though. It looked good in practice. But
It did look good.
Yeah.
In fact, I was like, yo, this might be dope.
but
And then it was
yeah,
not
good in traffic.
Yep. So trucks, very sad. No trucks.
Excited. Need trucks in my life.
Indy was racing.
3 weeks, no trucks.
Indy
right?
raced at Worldwide Technologies
Oh,
Raceway.
that race was dope.
They were
Wild.
They
We were watching.
flying.
Did you guys see the? Okay, so I don't want to like
That restart?
jump
We
the
were-
whole thing, but the
no,
last
I mean that's
restart.
what we gotta talk about.
Yeah.
Holy crap! The checkup that Newgarden gave on who was it? Will Power?
Yes.
Well, he was the victim, but yeah, he just
Bro, and then Colin Herta's just wow. Basically, I was
Pops
like,
a
"Yo,
wheelie.
what are we doing?" And then he jumps over the wall. It's like, "What are you doing?"
Will Power flipping off his teammate. That was like whoa.
Yeah.
I saw someone had a stat, and they're like, 10 years ago, if we said Joseph Newgarden is going to be the biggest villain in IndyCar,
Bro.
nobody was going to believe us.
What was it like? 20 laps to go, he spun out
Yes.
and come back and won the race.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that other one that you and I were watching yesterday that you were showing me? The one dude who just went full like game easy mode, like past like 9 or 10 cars at
Colton
one
Herta
time.
on the normal.
Colin Herta on the
that
start.
was, yeah.
It was the
Dude,
start of the
ridiculous.
race. He's just like right in the middle.
He was out there like
It was
Pac-Man,
wild.
bro. Just like
The only thing I just hate about IndyCar on tracks like that is everyone's a lap behind. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know how you fix that. It's just like
I don't think you can.
before the
Tired
restart,
of
it
rule book
was,
like NASCAR.
it was 3 cars were on the lead lap technically, and I'm like, well, this is dumb. And then they
Yeah.
restarted and it got to 5, and I'm like, this is still dumb. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like. Why do we have 260 laps
get-
if it's just going to
you
turn
get
to that?
5
Cut
lucky
it down
dogs.
to 100.
Because IndyCar
Give
does
them
not
5.
IndyCar does not belong on short ovals. IndyCar belongs on big ovals like Texas and Pocono.
Yeah.
You know, it's not bad. It was an entertaining race. To me, that was the best IndyCar
Indy.
race all year, except for the 500.
It was very good. It was a very
Which
good race.
again, the 500 is an oval, and one of the best Pocono races of all time. Or I'm sorry, one of the best IndyCar races of all time was Texas, and then the Pocono race was almost a guaranteed like great race.
Yeah.
Like the short track, like IndyCar on ovals, because of the drafting, is magic.
It's wild.
You know,
so like Daytona,
like-
Talladega.
Yeah, of
we can get
course.
them there.
We love it.
If they did an IndyCar race at Daytona,
I don't think they can. G forces.
we could though.
I don't know. I guess there was some kind of
Science,
test
we
when
could.
they repaved Atlanta before this last reconfig. They did an IndyCar test there, and the G forces were too high, and drivers were borderline passing out.
Brain scrambled egg brains.
We got.
I mean,
Have you tried IndyCar at Daytona on iRacing?
Yeah, it's pretty boring, really.
Really?
It's easy.
Oh.
I
Well,
mean,
you don't
literally
have to
just-
worry about G forces, I guess.
IndyCar at Pocono was fun.
Yeah, the car is so sucked down to the track. It's
IndyCar
like,
at Pocono
you know,
is so much.
it's a lot of fun on iRacing.
Yeah, because you're like turn 1, not too bad. Turn 3, not too bad. Turn 2, sketchy as hell.
See, I'm the absolute
That's a
opposite.
weird
Turn
order.
1 is sketchy for me. Turn 2, easy, cakewalk. I just walk right through it. And then turn 3 is kind of like, okay. Burp the throttle. Like, all right, take off. Yeah, turn 1's the worst for me at Indy because it's that long stretch,
That
and I'm
long
like
stretch.
hauling. I'm like, I can just dig it a
It's
little
way
more.
fun like when you're in a draft. It's wild.
Wild.
I wish it's so dangerous, but I wish IndyCar would go back to more big ovals. But there's no big ovals. They don't race Texas anymore, right? Or
I
did
don't
they?
think so.
I thought they still were. I thought they still did Texas.
I've never heard anything that they weren't, but I don't follow.
They
them
need to
for,
go back
like,
to
They
that.
ran
that,
one
but-
Iowa this year.
yeah, but
They
I thought-
left. They left Pocono after the one guy got hurt.
Yeah.
What's his
But-
name?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Robert Watkins. He didn't die. So like, let's go. Let's go back.
All right.
But
let's,
did you die?
let's go to our news and NAS news and rumors section.
Oh,
So
man, we're just now getting there.
yes, we're
we
very
already
lit.
we already covered the Austin Dillon.
Yep. So
Appeal
Austin Dillon,
is
we talked about-
Wednesday.
So look for socials because if any news comes out on that, we're definitely going to be posting about it probably. Kroger sponsorship is rumored to move to RFK.
Yeah.
That's a rumor as of right now.
Yeah,
right?
that's the rumors. RFK is
Robert Wickens is what JFB was saying.
RFK is going to be getting that Kroger sponsorship. I guess it was between RFK and JGR. It was one of those two. We're going to get the Kroger sponsorship. I don't know why Kroger's leaving. What is it, Jim Dodgery?
Tired of wrecking race cars.
Probably. I can't remember the name of his name.
JTG.
JTG. But anyway, they're coming over as a full-time sponsor, which is wild.
So it sounds like they were going to
How you
Gibbs.
gonna put a full-time sponsor on a car that's already fully sponsored? So
that's the next part of the rumor.
next
It
rumor
sounds
is
like they're
3
not
cars.
going to Gibbs because Bass Pro committed.
That's fair.
And that could be.
Yeah. No,
You know?
that sounds like that was the line that now we're going to go to RFK, which sounds like RFK may be picking up a third car.
So that's a third car, and now the rumor is who's going in it. I think there's been 2 drivers in the Ford camp that have been very quiet.
Haley Deegan.
Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton.
That would be
and
wild.
Ryan Priest.
Came
So
out my nose.
You
I
say
don't know,
Ryan
I would-
Priest?
yeah, I'm just saying they're Ford drivers. Ford's probably happy with them. I'm sure Ford's happy with Harrison Burton. I mean, he hasn't done
Really?
anything. I just don't. They don't have any reason to be mad at him. It's not like he's
Other than he
controversial.
sucks.
Yeah, but
Bruh,
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I'm not a
I
fan
think
of either
he's
one, but-
not good.
Ryan Blaney's running that car. That's the same
Ryan
equipment.
Blaney goes over to RFK. Yo,
Yo.
wild. We want to build a program.
He's Penske for life, bro.
Yeah, he signed a lifetime deal.
Oh, yeah. He sold his soul to the devil.
No, just to Roger.
Also, Haas factory team has announced that Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed.
I did not expect either one of these 2 drivers. I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
We want the strongest Xfinity team we can start with. Really?
Runner-up Creed and Super Sam. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's start off rolling.
Did he get his another
Yes,
runner up?
He's
So
13 runner up.
I thought it was
with-
11.
No, 11.
11.
Oh, he's at 11. I thought he was at 13.
11. That's still a lot.
That's a lot.
Golly, with multiple teams.
He's
This-
probably runner up in most teams he's raced for in Xfinity out of all
That's wild.
drivers.
Yeah.
man.
I mean, Sam wins races, but is it the car or is it Sam? So we'll see.
Yeah,
That's really interesting. I think. Oh man, I really thought Sam would have stuck it out another year. That really kind of surprised me.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he meshes with the Joe Gibbs, the junior team. I don't think he meshes very well at all. He seems like the
They're just
odd
not.
cat
He's
out.
just not Noah, bro. It's
So
just,
you got Creed, who's had 3 teams and 3 manufacturers in 3 years now.
Trying to find a home. Poor man.
back to Ford.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
I guess the rumors Brandon Jones is out too.
Thank God. I can actually start rooting for Junior again.
Brandon Jones might be going back to Xfinity or back to Joe Gibbs.
I can't
don't know.
believe it. I really can't.
Another huge announcement. Bowman Gray is officially hosting the Clash. I don't have. Where's the?
This sucks, bro. It's not Daytona.
I mean, if you're gonna race a quarter mile, I guess Bowman Gray's better than the Clash, but God, or the Coliseum, but it belongs to Daytona. You'll never change my mind. Probably because I,
agree.
spent about $5,000 to go there in speed weeks, but
And you lose a race.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
that's true.
And they
It's not fair.
they raised,
They raised the
prices.
pricing.
Yeah. So
You don't have to witness this race.
I-
The real atrocity is they got rid of the fan awards or fan rewards.
That was dumb. I can't believe
Yeah,
they
it's
got
lame.
rid of that.
It's probably
nonsense.
because of us, because we
We broke that sucker.
don't tell anybody our secrets in case they bring it back.
Okay. We won a lot of ultimate major prizes.
Pace car rides, victory lane, driver intros,
Leather jackets.
signed by Daytona 500 champions.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, Austin Dillon probably signed one of those.
We won so much we just quit going to them.
oh, it's
We're like, we kind of got everything we needed.
Like, pace car ride. Like,
The only thing we didn't get was like the actual helmet, like a driver helmet. We didn't get one of those.
yeah.
Right.
So,
enough.
okay. The only thing with Bowman Gray is if you're going to do like the Clash the way they were doing it, I think Bowman Gray is a much better idea than going to LA.
I think because you don't have room at Bowman Gray. We talked
I don't know
about
how
this.
that's
You
gonna
do not have
happen.
room for everybody.
We do have a local correspondent that's going to be giving us information. Shout out to Jen.
We will have somebody live on the scene giving us updates.
Yeah, because we have no idea, and all of us are like, we have no idea how this is going to work.
It
But
should be interesting.
it'll be-
yeah. So
it'll be interesting.
hopefully that'll pan out because she lives right there. That we should be able to. She said she would drive by and take construction photos if she can and stuff like that. We'll hopefully have some good stuff to post. But I think to me, you're gonna have to limit this to like just the playoff field, right? How are you gonna be able to have heats and all the other cars? And
I have
everything?
no idea.
Unless they show up old school with trucks on flatbed or cars on flatbeds.
They might.
on flatbreads.
Flatbeds.
They might.
I'm hungry, Jeff.
JFB was funny. He's like, Kvapil's probably the best. Probably the going to drive full time for
Quapple.
whatever. I can't say. it.
Guapo.
Golly.
You want a falafel? I don't know.
I think he probably will end up full time. He was running great till he got wrecked
Been
on
incredible.
Saturday.
Kuzman says bring the Clash to Elko and run it in the snow.
I'm about it. Let's do
They
it.
might be running in the snow and the or in
What is the
Bowman
backup
Gray.
Some
plan if it
chains on
snows?
those tires.
I have no idea.
That sounds like
We've run in dirt. Why can't we run in snow?
That's kind of how I look at
Should
it.
melt quick.
A lot of
hopefully.
heat.
Cars are hot, so
All
This
right.
is the only race nobody wants to pull.
Instead of dirt
Throw
tires,
me
we
in the
get
back.
instead of dirt tires, we just run slicks, but we get the chains, like the snow chains or whatever.
it's gonna be cold.
Yep.
Again, we talked to some people that we know that live up there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, February 2nd, it's cold. It's cold, cold."
All right. So do we have anything news on the charters at all?
Man, you're just
updates?
gonna skip over AJ?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. AJ.
That's rude.
No one cares.
I mean,
He's-
it
he's-
wasn't hardly mentioned in the broadcast today or yesterday either.
AJ Allmendinger is going full time cup racing again with a colleague.
Why?
No one knows.
Why
Okay.
not? Why not?
Because it's not good.
Keep it fresh.
Oh, yeah, real fresh.
He's back.
We're
Okay.
back for the
That's
third
our only shot of the
time.
win. This is colleague's only shot of the win right now.
Yeah, colleagues.
Yeah.
Daniel, is Daniel Hemrick going to be around?
I hope not.
Probably not.
Has
he
he,
gotta
has he
go.
spent all of Poppy's money?
Not yet.
Poppy Banks money?
All right. Any charter updates?
Did y'all read the charter news?
No.
No.
So I
That's why
guess
I'm
so. A couple weeks ago, NASCAR sent out a charter agreement. Sounds like teams rejected it. I don't know if some signed, some agreed, whatever, but it got rejected across the whole of the NASCAR
Pro
teams,
sports.
right? So apparently NASCAR sent out a new agreement, a revised one. Not much news there, but charter agreements are still ongoing. So
Gross.
that's where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
There's
we're
some
still,
kind of renegotiation going on.
Does anyone know anything about the schedule? Has that officially dropped yet?
Well,
the
they
schedule?
dropped the playoffs. Well, they haven't officially dropped the playoffs, but it came from Jordan Bianchi,
All right, so
which
it's
is
not dropped
basically
yet.
gold.
yeah.
So we've seen the playoffs, which the Roval's back. That sucks.
Backed by not popular demand.
Yeah,
The
really.
Roval.
Like, oh, you prefer the oval? You like the oval? How about another Roval?
They're gonna get to the point where half
Another
or
one.
mile and a half suck again, and they're gonna be like, "You guys, you know, you really pushed it. We're bringing back
The oval.
the oval.
Probably
Salt in the
That's-
wound.
that's
It
exactly
sounds
what-
like Mexico is confirmed. All but
Makes
confirmed.
sense.
That's pretty much
Do you
locked
get paid
up.
in pesos? Do you
Good
have to pay
question.
for like the transfer?
What's the taxation like?
Do you get double tax?
Can Kyle Busch go?
Do you even walk out of there with a win?
I still need
a
to know.
valid
If
question.
Kyle,
That's a valid
DJ
question.
brought this up months ago. Can Kyle Busch even go?
I want to know.
Will he get a waiver?
We need to ask
if he
Daddy.
can.
Gets extradited over.
What if he gets caught again?
It's weird we caught you twice.
Just gonna be like, it's okay. Well, no, not going there. I was like, it's okay. He can get back in.
There's ways to get
country
back, apparently.
really quick. Anyway, so
Just clicked for it.
all right, let's go to our questions
I
of
might
the
know a
week
few
and get out of here. Stop it. Let's get out of here. Kuzman asked, for those of us that haven't been to a lot of races or only go to a day of the Cup races, does the fan zone experience change based on which race you're going to, or does it stay the same for the whole weekend?
Not
I don't think
particularly
it
that I think
changes
of.
too much besides maybe like guest.
Well, we've been to what? Daytona, Charlotte, Homestead, Talladega.
Yeah.
So I would say
Atlanta.
for me, the ISC tracks, Daytona, Talladega, Homestead, those tracks are very similar.
Yeah.
The Daytona 500 is probably the standout. Like, it's just way more.
That's
double.
just
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have so many more people. Like, it's just double for sure. But then the rest of the ISCs, no matter if you go Talladega spring or fall, it's the same. But then the SMI tracks, I don't see as much consistency.
No,
Like
definitely
Charlotte
not.
and Bristol, two completely different
I would
experiences.
even throw in wasn't Talladega with ISC? Who's Talladega with?
Talladega's with ISC.
ISC. So Talladega, like, I'm shocked. They have this like one of the smallest fan zones.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's very small. You got all the haulers, right? And then you got maybe a little bit of like tractors and stuff like that, but it's small. Like you can do the whole thing in 20 minutes, right? Unless you're standing in a long line for sure. But then you go to Bristol, you're busy for hours at
yeah.
Bristol. The
Oh,
fall
yeah.
race,
Bristol probably has the best fan zone.
it has to. There's literally fan zone attractions all around
You
it.
can literally get obliterated drinking free moonshine.
Yeah. And then there's the whole
And then you can go to the NHRA tent or the NRA tent and go shoot a rifle after
Yup.
drinking a bunch of moonshine.
then they had
It's just how it is.
No,
Hold
they
on,
had
we
a
don't
boxing
condone that.
range.
No, we don't. Oh. And then you can throw axes.
Yeah. There's so
Bro,
much
like,
you can
it's
do.
wild.
That's so
There's
much
so
worse.
much you can do. Like Bristol is hands down like one of the best I think I've
You know
been
one of the
to.
best too?
The
They
only
ha-
one that
they have
compares
all
to it
the,
is the 500 because
they-
the 500 is just so massive.
Yeah.
You know?
What's cool too about Bristol, they have that the location of like that traveling flea market of like old race stuff is right next to the racetrack.
Right there.
Right there. It connects with their fan zone, their midway. So it's super dope. But I would say like okay, I've been
I don't
to
remember
Phoenix.
Charlotte that much. That was a long time ago.
Wait, are we talking like fan zone, like
I-
as we know
I
in
mean,
Daytona? Or are we
what's he
talking
saying?
like midway?
It's all of them. It's just a fan zone experience.
The
So
fan zone, like
specifically.
in track experience, is probably very similar everywhere.
That's what I was kind of. That's
but
where I
like
was
the,
going with it.
I have the feeling he's talking like midway is kind of
Midways.
how I
Yeah,
interpreted it.
I agree.
Yeah, I would think like besides the Daytona 500, all the ISC stuff is all the same. Because we went to Phoenix, it was cool. Like if you've never been, like it's dope, but it's the same stuff. It's
Yeah.
the same sponsors, the mashed potato people. Like if you know what I'm talking about, like they give away cups of mashed potatoes. They're at every race. It's awesome. You've been drinking all
Yeah.
day. Like a mashed potato hits the spot. But
Things you wouldn't think of.
you can
unless
go get
you've
your
been
free
to
Chevy
NASCAR.
T-shirt. Like you can
Yep.
go hit the things and check all the boxes at an
Yep.
ISC track.
Atlanta was
at
pretty
a
decent.
SMI. Like I mean, they had at Charlotte had a rock climbing thing. I mean, they had all kinds of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I would say the cool thing NASCAR now does, because we've only really been to ISC stuff since they started doing this, but they have like the whole kids zone, which taking my kids to Talladega, that was super fun.
Yeah.
They get to like color a race car, they get to sign a race car, drive RC car. Like that was super fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if SMI does that because we haven't been doing SMI besides Bristol, and it's whole different thing.
Yeah.
Because Bristol, like we were saying, Bristol and Charlotte was completely different experiences.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, I think because what I've noticed is it's very, very similar. I mean, I've only got a few to really compare it to, and I'd say the big difference is like obviously on the day for the Cup, you're going to see more, driver stuff, where you're going to be able to.
That's true.
You're going to see more of that kind of stuff, but the Midway itself, as far as like the stuff to do, the merch tents and that kind of stuff,
Very
is
similar.
very, very similar. All right, so moving on to some.
Oh,
other-
I got one more
Oh,
question.
no.
Sorry, I had a question come in.
I had two other questions.
Oh, good.
So
Is yours better than mine?
yeah, it's great. So you were out of town this weekend, right?
Yes.
I was told there was a crab experience. Can you elaborate?
At the end.
Okay.
Oh,
think I got a text message like, "Hey, make sure you ask about this. It's a good story." I'm like, "All right." So
I
at
feel
the
like
end
my
of the
wife
episode,
just texted you right now.
it might have been when we started.
Question 2. Or do 3 first.
Do 3 first.
Yeah.
Okay. How can we prevent or maximize rain delays moving forward? How can we prevent it?
I
Get
would-
the government control of the weather.
Yeah. Quit turning that stuff
God,
on when we're in town.
please.
Okay, listen.
that it
We all
really-
got kids here. It's clearly stated in the Paw Patrol movie. There's an easy fix to this. There's a weather machine. You just take care of the clouds.
Yep. I'm sure Mayor Humdinger has it. It's
I'm
So-
telling you, there's already a solution.
If you were NASCAR, how would you fix this?
You can't. It's weather.
No, you can. You can. Jeff?
No, you can't.
All right, be a loser then.
I mean, I can go back to what I mentioned earlier ish, where it's like obviously it's going to depend on, does the track have lights, how late are they willing to start the race, that kind of a thing. So
I think every track should have
dependent
lights.
on
I'll
the
throw that out there.
variables
This
at
is
hand.
my point.
Depending on the variables
I
at
agree.
hand, I think that, doing what we're doing the last couple of rain shortened races where they do the time limit thing, adds pressure, adds something to it, makes the most of it.
All right.
I mean, but I don't know.
I say just YOLO. Just throw the rain tires on and just go.
God,
209 on rain
But-
tires.
Bring
Bring
it on.
tires are
You know what?
flying apart
Bo-
in
you
2
know what?
laps.
Boys have at it.
Oh my God.
But
I think
I
these
don't think it's a good
tracks,
answer.
if you look at if you do the
I don't have an
research,
answer.
if you dig into it, these tracks make baller money. They should all be mandated to have lights.
Yes.
Oh, I do.
Oh
agree
well,
that.
yeah, of course. I mean,
That fixes everything.
I was
That
thinking
fixes
more
everything.
realistic.
There's no more
approaches.
Monday races if you do that, unless it's just an absolute downpour all
Monday
day.
at 1 a.m. We're starting the race.
Let's do it.
There might be some
Whatever.
problems with
I can
that,
be
but-
sick on Monday.
Your boy was.
Anyways, last one.
Last one is we are heading to Daytona, and what is our plan? So if you're going to be going to Daytona, we got a lot of us going there.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
That's the plan.
Unfortunately, I have to work, so I won't be there.
He lies.
Sad day. No, I really.
The
do
plan
have to work.
is me and Matt are heading down Wednesday night.
Should be.
Holy crap, that's 2 days.
Yep.
By this time in 2 days, we
We'll
are
be-
48 hours away from being in Daytona.
We will be in Daytona.
Woo!
About it.
And then I think Josh, Nate, and Lewis are coming down Friday,
Okay.
early afternoon,
Um,
early. Well, I guess noon.
we may have someone else pop up. Mr.
Hmm?
Sutherland might swing by.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You gotta
For
let
a
them know
Friday night.
the sleeping accommodations
him
are
can cuddle.
limited.
Me and him can cuddle.
Up on the
Well,
top
I'm not.
bunk.
I'm not. I
That's
can't
a
make
small
it this time
bed
around.
for 2 men.
We'll be
Just
fine.
saying.
I can't make it. This
Ain't
time
no
around
room like
either,
we had
so
when we put pillows in between us. Ain't no room for that.
We'll be fine.
You got room for Parker. You got room.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. He's like, I'd be interested to go, but we'll see how it goes. I'm like, all right, well,
No, I got room.
we
for
don't
him.
have a ton of people going this time, so it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we could
make it
because
work.
I
just
can't
for a
make
night
it,
because he's like, I'd have
so-
to go home Saturday. I'm like, that's fine.
He can't come to the race Saturday.
No, I think he's got to go. He's got to fly out.
Priorities, bro.
Adulting, man. Lame.
Anyways, so that's the plan. We'll be down Wednesday and coming home hopefully Sunday morning, and the race runs Saturday night. Which the weather looks promising, but it's Florida, so
Yeah.
Who knows?
you
So
know,
yeah,
it could be clear and just
if
absolutely
you're
pour
gonna
all day long.
be if you're gonna be down there, definitely hit us up and
For
message us, and we'll see if we can hang out at the pool bar with you.
Me and Matt will probably be out causing a mess somewhere,
We're going to try
That's almost a certainty. At this
especially
point.
especially if Bruce is on third shift security.
right?
Your boy Bruce.
Beware if you come to meet the boys with the yellow tape on, with the yellow caution tape. If you do that, you
You're
might
in
get
trouble.
you might get hurt.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
Oh, fun fact. I saw this the other day. So I was at a local establishment, right? And they had Malort just sitting on the counter. And I'm like,
Oh, gross.
wow, why is that here? They're like, yeah, we have certain drinks that just, we just have to have it. We have to have it. I was like, you can't even mix it with anything. They're like, no. I was like, all right, well, good luck.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, before we close out, I do want to hear the crab story, please.
Nope, it's over. Maybe next week.
No crab
He already
story?
played the music.
Wow.
He already made the music.
Heartless.
I'll pull the music down. Hold on.
Do what, Lindsay?
No,
Lindsay just want no.
Lindsay wants this crab
Meet
story.
me at Daytona and I'll give you the story.
All right.
Alright,
Daytona for the crab
you know what,
story.
That's fair enough. Okay. All right. So we'll see you guys next week. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll see you if you're there in Daytona next week, y'all.
See ya.
Yee-yee!
Out of pocket.